no question.
It's been 138 days since we've seen a footy kicked in anger. And even though the world has kept spinning, and there's been plenty going on outside football, something just hasn't felt right. No longer missing in action. 7 welcomes you back to the AFL and the Ansett Australia Cup.
Fremantle and Hawthorn at a new-look Subiaco Oval. The wait is over. King footy is back. Hi everyone, welcome along to Subiaco Oval for Game 1 in the Ansett Australia Cup, and tonight it's the new-look Fremantle Dockers taking on Hawthorn. The Dockers have got a new coach, Damien Drum, and some new experienced players, including Tony Modra, across from the Adelaide Crows. As far as the Hawks are concerned, well, it's Hawthorn AD after Dunstall, a big test for them. I mentioned Tony Modra. He'd have some strange recollections of this ground.
Now, goes with a high kick up towards Modra and McIntyre. Back into them was Johnny Worsfold. One man who was slow to get up was Tony Modra.
And John Worsfold, welcome along to 7 Sport, your own calling card, your own shirt front.
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. That was a while ago, and Tony's back and looking very fit. I've seen him training during the week, and he's looking for a great year with Fremantle.
You climbed the stairs tonight, up here amongst the gods, pardon the expression. How do you feel up here?
A little bit different, yeah, certainly a different way to prepare for a footy season, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great year, I think. Football's certainly back. And looking back, John Worsfold, some great career highlights, a couple of premierships, 92 and 94. This is 92. Like that little scar. Yeah, I think I finished both grand finals with a black eye, Dennis, but I probably wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And this is 94. Still emotional for you? Yeah, very emotional, yeah. The peak of your career, the crowning glory in a long football career. Impressive record, as we say. The Pinnacles, well, I guess a club best and fairest in 88, and of course the premierships, 92 and 94. And now right here on 7 for Game 1 in the Ansett Australia Cup. Here come the Dockers on cue. Behind their new skipper, Chris Bond, with a boot for Carlton against Collingwood back in 1990. It's been a varied road for him as we take a look at this Dockers lineup, John. Yeah, very good lineup tonight. A few new players there. Ashley Prescott from Richmond, Brad Wirra, and of course Tony Modra taking up his spot at full forward. So no actual new draftees there, but 3 players from different clubs running out for Fremantle.
How important do you think this game is for Tony Modra as the Hawks arrive? We'll get back to that in a moment. Hawthorn, who finished so well last season, winning their last 5 games, including a massacre of the Dockers at Waverley in round 22.
Yeah, very young Hawthorn side, Dennis, and looking like you mentioned earlier to start without Jason Dunstall, but Ben Dixon, a likely full forward to step in there for them and taken over from the great number 19 Guernsey. But 3 young players, or Brett O'Farrell from Sydney, Adrian Cox and Chris Barlow, having their first run for the Hawks.
Well, certainly miss Jason Dunstall. Modra at the other end, as we mentioned. How important is this game, do you think, for him?
Oh, very important. He struggled a little bit to get a lot of the football in a practice game against the Eagles last week, so he'll be looking to fitting into this lineup a little bit better. Hopefully he'll be hoping that his teammates have learnt where he runs to, how he leads, and they'll be looking for him and looking to have a good season, a good start tonight.
And Brett O'Farrell, a very good pickup as far as the Hawks are concerned. Almost set to go. Beautiful evening. It's been a hot day in Perth, around 30 degrees. Game 1 in the Ansett Australia Cup is coming right up. Greg Scroop, Adam Binks, and Simon Gill, numbers 21, 42 and 35 respectively. All about numbers tonight. 2 runners, 6 interchange players. Let's wait for the toss of the coin. Looking ahead to halftime too. We'll take a look at the new AFL record. That's right, the new AFL record. And we'll be talking with Hawthorn Chief Executive Michael Brown. Plenty of talking points to come out of Hawthorn. That's at halftime in Game 1 of the Ansett Australia Cup.
Adrian Barrich is down on the boundary. Good evening, Adrian.
G'day, Dennis. Yes, footy's back. It's fantastic, isn't it? And welcome to John Worsfold to the team. Great to have him on board, Whoosh. A warm night down here, very balmy. The breeze, this ground has actually changed a bit, Den, because of the fact they've taken out the eastern end of it. The stand's gone. Dropped its capacity by about 6,000, I'm told. So now 34,000 maximum they can get into the ground. The wind now blows from right to left. The Dockers have won the toss, so they will be kicking with the breeze first option. They'll be kicking long to Modra. They've very well overhauled their game plan now, kicking more directly to a leading full forward. A new surface as well, then. They've re-sown it with ryegrass to make it a bit more Victorian style, a bit softer, less prone to the knee injuries that they had a bad run with last year. And the best story today, probably Michael Clark, the son of Wayne Clark, the coach of the Western Warriors Sheffield Shield team. He's out there today. He had 2 shoulder knee reconstructions and a knee reconstruction. This is his first game. Dan, let's hope he does well. Dale Kickett and Heath Black also back from injury for the Dockers. And for the Hawks, we're looking for Nick Holland to see what he can do and who may play as their new full forward, as you said, now that Jason Dunstall is out. But a perfect night to watch footy, Dan.
Thanks, Adrian. It is indeed. We might have a rookie on the squad tonight, but we've also got a veteran, Ian Robertson.
Yeah, good on you, Dennis. It's a pleasure to be here again for season 1999, the first match. It's been warm here today, which has already been mentioned, and I think the Hawks are cherry ripe. There's a bit of a dust up there at half forward. 4 or 5 players involved, John, and down went a Dockers player.
Yeah, and a free kick picked out already for Hawthorn.
Ashley Prescott was down. Welcome to Perth. And a free kick is going to Hawthorn. This is Dixon from about 60 metres out. Number 19 tonight, up in front. Burton dropped it. This is Harding coming away, putting it back towards half-back. Treleaven, nicely done, drifting across in front of Walker. So Treleaven's got this one about 60 metres out. Feels funny, Robbo, doing this again.
It is a little bit, yeah.
Treleaven in short. Salmon, 55 metres out from goal.
I believe has been sensational over the summer.
Rawlings, looping hand pass. Taylor. Still Taylor, back to Salmon, 35 metres out, goes with the left. It's bending back, but not enough at behind to open proceedings. All Salmon. Prescott's okay. In the foreground there, Dale Kickett. Good to see him fit and ready. 6 on the bench. Both sides tonight, as we said, 2 runners, only 1 allowed on the ground at any given time. Brad Wirra, another new face to bring it in. Driving it towards the outer side. Watch for Burton over the top. Well, almost off his fingertips. Fletcher cruising past. Long searching hand pass. Gale away. A couple of bounces. Down towards right half forward. Waterhouse is coming to the vacant square. Knocked away by Hay. Loose ball down in front. Socket off the ground towards the boundary. That's effective enough. And across the line. So boundary throw in right on the attacking 50. Obst doing the good work there, realising the ball was there to be socket, and did exactly that.
And I think you mentioned that that young fella there coming back after a bad injury, Heath Black, and it's a welcome return. I'm sure his folks back in Victoria will be very, very interested in his form over the next 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the proper season. The ball is just inside the forward 50 for Fremantle. Salmon in picture. Bandy up over the top, gets his hands onto it. Well done by Bandy. A long, sweeping right foot kick by Bandy. The first goal of season 1999 to the Dockers.
Great bit of work out of the ruck there by Bandy. Obviously, the umpire's throwing the ball up tonight rather than bouncing it around the ground. And Bandy reading that well, taking it out, no one around him, and he got the kick away, and it sailed through for a great goal.
So pretty good start there for Fremantle. I think you mentioned, Dennis, that Prescott recovered from a bit of a dust-up that we saw just as the umpire was about to start play. No messing around, gave the free kick to the Hawks, but all they could manage was a behind through Salmon. First goal of the match to Bandy. Treleaven in the centre square. Salmon goes early, knocked away by Burton. Treleaven gathers. Hand pass just smothered a little bit. Knocked forward there by Danilchenko. Now the chances for Fremantle to stream away from half-back. They get the ball back to Kickett. Left foot kick by Kickett. As well marked there by Lloyd. Lloyd's kick towards half-forward. Terrific gather there by Barker. His hand pass, he was decked as he got the hand pass away. and the umpire has awarded a free kick. May have been against Bandy. Barker with the football, kicks across half forward. Not a very good kick. Callahan there to intercept, fell over at the critical stage. The Hawks working hard to try and hold the ball in their half forward area. Lord, now Taylor, little hand pass, looked there for his teammate, and he was crunched to the ground. Opportunity now for the Hawks round the middle of the ground, and that was a rather crude tackle against, who was that there? Might have been Barlow, is it?
Obst, I think.
Obst, is it? Obst with the football for the Hawks, kicks them into attack.
High kick inside the 50. Waiting behind, it's Wirra. Nicely done. Brad Wirra comes away from half-back. Long kick down towards half-forward. It hangs in the air a long time. Over the top was Black. Waiting in front for 11. Didn't have the ball. No free kick. And you get the feeling, John, there's a heavy emphasis on being physical from the Dockers at the moment.
Yeah, there is. They came out pretty physical in the practice game last week, but going hard at it early, as Hawthorn. They're matching them, and like I said, everyone leading up to the first official practice game, they get pretty excited.
Tossed up, Salmon slaps it wide. Sinclair leads in the race. Kicks it towards the outer side. This is Clark, hand passing down towards the 50. Taken by Black, hand passes back towards the middle. Loose ball, gathered by Taylor, was taken high, I thought. And he'll get the free kick. No doubting that one. Taylor wants to go. No, decides to hold up now. Taylor, watch this again. Average 27 possessions in the 2 games against the Dockers last year. Jones, meantime, has marked his kick to Callahan from 75 out, ill-directed. Clears Taylor. Modra towards the boundary line. Kept it alive initially, but it's across, I think, on the full off the boot of Modra, so it'll be a Hawthorn free. He doesn't have to kick off over the mark, so that's just a rule they're trialling in this competition. Graham taking full advantage of it. Got the hand pass to Taylor.
Taylor's kick is good out into the face there of Nick Holland, who takes the mark on centre wing, gets around onto his right, and then kicks towards half forward. That was a good kick too. And coming down a long way from the full forward line is Chick. Chick's short pass is effective, and the mark is taken by Lord. Lord looking to play on and get the ball into the goal square, put the pressure on the Dockers' defence. It's nearly a mark down there to Barker. Still play on, called by the umpire, and eventually taken over, and that's a free kick against Fremantle. No attempt there by Carroll to keep the ball in, according to the umpire. And Carroll not happy, free kick to the Hawks. Well, Chick, you'd have to say, watch this, John. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty tough one. You could have almost said he fumbled it over the line, but the umpires like to see some sort of effort, and it'd be interesting to see if Hawthorn set some play up here and try and find a player to kick the ball to rather than having a shot.
Well, O'Farrell, you can see there that what is confronting O'Farrell, he looks as though he's going for that banana kick, and it was effective, but not quite the accuracy he was looking for. His scores are behind. So the Hawks have kicked 2 behinds. Fremantle have kicked a goal, and the umpires already been mentioned by Dennis, Greg Scroop, Adam Binks and Simon Gill, and they have mics on, so we'll be tuned into everything that they've got to say during the evening.
You're right on, 12.
Here's Wirra. Kicking out towards half-back. Holland reaching over the top, punched it down onto the ground, then found it again, and kicks from about 55. Plenty of distance, but out of bounds on the full. In the left full forward pocket. Bear in mind, as we watch the interchange players warming up, that Carroll could go in any direction there. Went the old routine that time. Old habits die hard. He got it to Burton. This is Prescott running away from half-back. Brilliantly run down from behind by Chick. Made something out of nothing. Deserves to kick a goal. Taylor got it back to him. Now he spikes it. Dixon gathers the bouncing ball. Gets it to Holland. Feeds it back inside. Nothing doing there. Danilchenko tried to crash the pack. Comes across to Burton hurriedly through the centre. Up comes Clark. Slaps it directly to Rawlings. Rawlings the hand pass away, and they clear the zone. Hay, a long kick towards half forward. Backpedaling is Fletcher. And Fletcher does very nicely.
Respectful Hawthorn have for Fletcher. Woods is his immediate opponent at the moment.
Callahan. Well, that's very untidy. Valiant attempt at the mark by Holland. Wirra ties it up. holding the ball. Well, Anthony tried to slap it out. It went back in, but that's the way they rule it.
Yeah, don't like that, though. The player, it's as if you're judging a player being honest, John, when they do that, isn't it?
It is, Robbo, but they're trying to keep the play flowing, and they want the players to knock the ball out and hopefully stay on their feet.
Even if it hits the player and goes back in, you still get pinged.
Heath Black was the player kicking it to Wirra. Wirra around onto his right, hooks the ball into the corridor in front of the goals, and that should be nearly free kick to Modra. The Fremantle fans thought so. Salmon gets back, kicks it out wide. No mark taken, and the ball spills over for a boundary throw-in. 35 there for the Dockers, Gale, and 37 is Leckus for the Hawks. Woods on Fletcher. Interesting matchups. Sinclair being minded behind play by Barlow. Callahan and Lord. Down forward, Danilchenko and Jones. The kick comes from Leckus. It lands at half forward. Holland, well, I think he was a bit surprised there, Nick Holland. It could have hit him on the chest and it bounced away. Wirra again, possession number 6 for Wirra, into the middle of the ground. Burton, he's pretty skillful for a big bloke and finishes it off fairly well in the finish. Gale gets it to Prescott. Prescott towards full forward. Modra! Big fly by Tony Modra. Got his hands onto it, couldn't control it, and away goes Graham for the Hawks.
Road on the outer side, takes the mark, plays on immediately. Rawlings under the pump, hand passes up towards the wing. They turn it over. Fletcher to Black, towards the half-forward line then. Taken by Clark on his knees, back to Black. Black closing on goal, kicks it.
For Valentine's Day, Seven presents a movie to awaken the romantic in us all.
Why didn't we do this before?
Out of passion for their work
Giving you a shot as a reporter.
came a passion for each other.
You look so good.
And the only thing that could divide them
I'm not part of the team.
was the 6 Personal, Sunday on 7.
So Fremantle have kicked the first 2 goals. Black and Bandy, the goal kickers for the Dockers. An awkward bounce favours Fremantle. Spills to the back where Taylor gathers, kicks across his left shoulder. A wobbly punt kick towards half forward. Punched away there by Prescott. At the base of the pack is Callahan trying to just force it forward. And too high there on Leckus in the finish. Looked a fairly straightforward decision by the umpire, Leckus, to take the free kick on centre wing. Very good player for Hawthorn, very reliable. Punch away really favours the Dockers here. Bandy and Burton, the big fellas, combined, get the ball to half forward, but a leaping mark taken across the half-back line there by Hay. Hay for the Hawks. He's still inside his defensive 50. Aren't the players fit for this time of the year? There's just no rest now. Anybody who slackens off over the summer just is put right behind the 8 ball. There's the playmaker for Fremantle. Fletcher's kick into the middle of the ground has been taken by Big Spider Burton. Gets back quickly. Kicks towards half forward. Punched away by the Hawks defence. Strong across that half-back line. Can they clear? They're under a bit of pressure. Hay, a hurried kick, high, out towards centre wing. Punched back towards the half-forward line for Fremantle. In goes Burton once again. Tried to use his tall advantage there, but has given away a free kick. It might have really been against Jones, and the free kick for Hawthorn will be taken by Treleaven.
Kicks play through the wing towards half forward. Jones knocks it away from Cox. Sinclair taken by Cox front on. Could be holding the ball. He made no attempt to get rid of it. He's a bit lucky. It was held to him certainly, but he was happy with that. So ball up, as you can see, tossed in the air by the umpire. Jones. Tough to be a ruckman tonight. You have to get there quickly, or not at all. You have to make some decisions as you go to these situations. And the ball is out of bounds and will be thrown in. As we said, a hot day today, and it's still at about 26 degrees now. Thrown in, Holland. Knocked away by Fletcher. Holland goes after the ball on the ground. Held in there. Will be thrown up. Holland is there. Who'll go with him? Fletcher. Fletcher knocks it down. Leckus grabs it. kicks inside the 50. Going back is Carroll. Gutsy attempted the mark, took a deflection. Prescott to Burton. Burton up towards the wing. Bandy needed to stretch, missed it. So did Rawlings. It runs free behind. Walker hit the ball hard. Feeds it across to the run of Bandy. Very athletic. Pulled off the kick. It wanders down inside the attacking 50. Crode's in the way. At close quarters, gets it across to McCabe, who had a wonderful season last year. Runner-up in the Hawks' best and fairest. And he runs the ball across the boundary line.
That was a great pick-up there by young James Walker under a bit of heat, and just one grab, got a real good handle out to Bandy. That's great footy.
Well, I'm sure both sides trying out some of the younger players to see if they may have improved over the summer with the weight work and, of course, the agility tests that a lot of them do. And the improvement usually comes from the younger players getting that little bit better, John.
Well, I know certainly both these teams will be looking for their improvement from the younger players. That's what's going to get them to climb up the ladder. So tonight's pretty important for both sides.
The ball at the back where Bond, newly appointed captain for Fremantle, run down there by Chick. Good persistence by the Hawthorn player. A high kick, well marked. He's a good player, Bandy, isn't he? Fletcher kicks it across his left shoulder to half forward. Modra, third in line, couldn't gather, but it's well done by Waterhouse. Gets away from Hay, kicks the ball, hooks it a little too far in the finish. Had a reasonable chance of scoring there, but would be disappointed with just a behind. Exciting player, Clive Waterhouse for Fremantle. They lead 2-1, Hawthorn 2 behinds, and the coach's box, Damien Drum. An interested onlooker, I am absolutely certain. And, of course, Kenny Judge, animated as ever.
Rawlings on his chest. Right half back, up towards the wing goes the kick. On the lead, sliding in there and doing very nicely is Daniel Chick. Now it's Lloyd. Lloyd has this ball on the wing. Chick's high towards the attacking 50. O'Reilly directed it down. Jones to Harding to Gale. Across the body. Walker, the sixth man taken in the 97 draft. Prescott up towards the centre square. Ashley Prescott disenchanted with the Tigers. It became official earlier in the week. Intended for Fletcher out there. The hand pass from Woods is good. Crowd off his step. Nicely done. This is Dixon. Dixon comes across the ground. Trelevin moving at his base. Trelevin from half back then. Telling kick. They've got runners to the grandstand side, our broadcast side. This is Leckers. He can take it to the 50. Line up on goal. That's a magnificent kick. Hasn't got the carry. Not quite. At the fingertips down there. Barker. Farrell going across. And also in there for the Dockers was Harding. Behind. Fremantle lead it by 10 points. Just over 5 minutes till quarter time. The quarters, 17.5 minutes.
Wirra to kick in for Fremantle. Goes short, and it's effective. The mark is taken by Carroll. Hawks just chopping and changing a few of their taller players. I watched Jade Rawlings come off the ground and Barker go back on for the Hawthorn side just a few minutes ago. The kick into the middle of the ground. Bond has somehow found some space. Slips the hand pass wider still. Prescott tried to be perhaps a little fancy there, and it may just rebound here against the play there of Ashley Prescott. He perhaps think now, I'm a little fortunate not having to pay the full price there. Between centre and centre half forward, the play about 55, maybe closer to 60 metres from the Hawthorn goal. And a free kick has been found here, and it's been paid to Burton, quickly on to Bond. Bond kicks to a vacant area as far as Fremantle are concerned at half forward, and the mark is taken by Crode. The Hawks looking for bigger and better things from Trent Crode in season 1999. Just a young man. This is Wirra. Kick smothered off the boot. Chick did well. Didn't he do well? He got it out to Lloyd. He'll go all the way in and should kick the Hawks' first goal, and he doesn't miss from there. It's a goal to Hawthorn.
In 1950, Frank McNamara changed history with a dramatic new way to pay bills. A world first, he named his creation Diners Club. Today, his original vision is changing the way the world does business. The Diners Club business card system saves your company vital time and money with a reporting system that tracks expenses each month. First, and still the most efficient card for managing expenses, Diners Club. the blueprint for all other cards.
So it's the Dockers by 4 points. What breeze there is, they're kicking with down towards the eastern end of the ground. The ground under repair down there. It's going to take away from the crowds in Subi this season. Fletcher across to Sinclair, under pressure, pops it out wide. Burton presenting himself. Now releases a runner. This is Bond, forward of the wing. He kicks down towards the attacking 50. Closing his hay, did very nicely. Knocked it away from Waterhouse. Waterhouse not happy with the supply there.
8 possessions to Burton.
The vice-captain of the Dockers this season.
Keep going the ball.
Bandy and Barker. It happening off the ball. Bandy directs it down in front. This is Bond. Hurriedly. Not a bad effort under the circumstances. Got it inside the 50. Callahan at close quarters to Black, who's already booted a goal. Black goes pretty close from there. Missed by much. Stretches the lead to 5 points.
Yes, well done. And as I said earlier, to stand on his feet and see 1 or 2 games out would be terrific for Fremantle people with Heath Black.
A very exciting player, one of those players who can get the ball onto his boot very quickly and do something with it.
Kick in for Hawthorn has been well marked by Taylor. Looking to move the ball on quickly from half back. No one running in assistance, so he's forced to go very wide. Out for Treleaven. He turns his opposite number there in Clark inside out, then gets the ball into the middle of the ground where Woods has taken the mark. Woods for Hawthorn, kicks it high towards centre-half forward, looking for Holland, but it's punched away. Rebound footy again. Sinclair away to Harding, and Burton is carving them up around the middle of the ground for Fremantle. Matthew Burton, the ball spills to the back. Good hand pass there by Clark. Nearly got it to Bond. The kick towards the half-forward area, and Salmon playing a bit of a loose man there across the half-back line as defended grandly for the Hawks. The ball is out wide with Hassel. Hassel the half-forward, looks for Lloyd at the back of the pack. Chance now for Jones. Now for Callahan. Jones and Callahan combining well. Callahan's kick. Should have been nearly paid a free kick there, Waterhouse. A bit unlucky. Kicked away by Gale. Burton in the play again. Waterhouse comes forward once again. There's a combination here. Walker was involved in the action. Waterhouse still there for Fremantle. Now there's no messing around by Sinclair. He throws it on his boot and getting back a good mark there by Salmon. They were going to clash, and that's not a bad sign for Kenny Judge because both of those boys had their eyes on the footy. Salmon takes the mark.
That is the Bermuda Triangle down there, because in the opener we showed Tony Modra colliding with John Worsfold. That, I would say, is right on the spot. On the other side, Bandy drops it. Close to the boundary line. Eventually, the Hawks bring it away. Chick missed it. Makes amends hurriedly off the deck. We're up with the body in a post to Cox, did nicely. Jones to O'Reilly. Callahan. Little chip pass up towards the centre circle. Gale running towards half-forward into the path of Modra, spilled it. Well, the crowd were holding their collective breaths there, and the ball off the chest of Modra and across the line. Adrian?
Just, Dennis, at ground level, a lot of people say that the players don't try as hard in the Ansett Cup. These are two teams that are absolutely going hammer and tong, and watching the Dockers, it's like watching a different team completely. Their style has been radically overhauled. One kick and one handball and a long kick.
Well, the Hawks trying to get the ball clear of their half-back line. Going in strongly was Woods. Kicking away was Leckis and found the safety of the boundary line. Temporary sigh there for the Hawthorn fans. I'm sure a bit of relief. The ball will be thrown in on centre wing.
I think that last move forward from Fremantle is what they're looking for, getting the ball kicked out in front of Modra, letting him lead onto it. At the moment, Salmon's dropping back into that hole, and it's making it hard for Modra to find the space. They want to try and keep it open, look for Modra and get the ball in front of him.
And Salmon there, John, coming off with a bit of blood streaming from a little bit of a nick on his face there. So the Hawks have been undermanned. They'll be trying to patch Paul Salmon up pretty quickly, you would think, because Bandy and Burton have been quite sensational for Fremantle. And so is their captain, Bond. He was dispossessed on this occasion. Maybe, no, the advantage was nearly there for the Hawks, but the umpire could see that Taylor was going to be tackled. Maybe it wasn't his free kick because the ball is going back to Leckis. Leckis kicks the ball high in towards centre-half forward. They're looking for that big marking forward in Holland. but these little fleas for the Fremantle side are just taking the ball away from their half-back line. It's out wide for O'Reilly. Just looks a little lumbering and tried to tap it clear. Chick and Harding there for Fremantle. And the umpire will come in and ball it up just off the centre square, close to centre wing on the far side of the ground as we watch Paul Salmon in the hands of the medical staff.
I was going to say too, Robbo, when you said fleas, if any of the mums are watching, that was in the most endearing sense, wasn't it?
My word.
Absolutely. There's Prescott wide of the pack. Floats it down towards half forward. Approaching quarter time. Waterhouse the big leap. 22 seconds till quarter time. Ball out of bounds. Do have time on, so the clock now frozen at 18 seconds. There's no ties in the Ansett Australia Cup, of course. You go to extra time. Paul Salmon. Tossed in right on the attacking 50. Barker, clean possession, dragged off it. Gains about 25 metres, and the ball bounces out of bounds, using up about 8 seconds. So we're down to 10 seconds remaining in the term. The Dockers lead by 5 points. Johnny Hassel alongside Jess Sinclair. Bandy and Barker. Barker knocks it back towards the boundary. Out she goes again. We're down to 3 seconds. That pair working hard, just in front of this pair. We run in now, wait for the siren. Well, it's quarter time. Game 1 in the Ansett Australia Cup. I think supporters of both sides could take something from the opening quarter. Fremantle at times getting their running game going. So to the Hawks, who built nicely through the midfield. Goal scorers for the Dockers, Bandy's got one, Black has the other. And for Hawthorn, Brad Lloyd got theirs running into an open goal. Quarter time. Fremantle 2-2, Hawthorn 1-3.
Tonight's weather update brought to you by...
Thanks, Mum.
Good evening. A severe thunderstorm advice has been issued for northern and eastern parts of the state, including the Riverland, Murraylands and both the upper and lower southeast, with possible heavy falls and thunderstorms. On local waters, easterly winds overnight with a moderate to fresh afternoon sea breeze. And in the city, there's a risk of a shower overnight, down to 21, 34 and humid tomorrow with a possible late afternoon stormy shower about the hills. More of the same over the weekend.
Now, these are the chicken Kiev balls, and these are the chicken and cheese balls. Oh, can you get the kids to music now?
Can we have the music?
What are these?
Chicken and cheese.
Cool. Do I like them?
Well, you like chicken and you like cheese, and that's Kiev.
What is Kiev?
It's a town in the former Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
Yeah, right.
Well, they wolfed those down.
Oh, that was quick.
What are these?
Bush buddies for the kids.
Bird's eye chicken snacks.
Thanks, Dad.
The federal government rebate means now you can enjoy all the benefits of Medibank private hospital cover for 30% less. In fact, a family can join for as little as $18 a week. And you can also get 30% off the price of extras cover for things like optical and dental. Join Medibank Private now on 1-800-188-188. How does that make you feel?
Need a ride?
The new Honda HR-V four-wheel drive.
Nice car. Yeah, what would you pay for it?
You'd sell your soul for one, but at $23,350, you don't need to.
Get your backside trackside for one massive night when Triple M presents the Sprint Auto Parts Supercross Masters Wavell Showground Saturday night, Feb 20. See motorsport's most frequent flyers, Anderson, Hogan, Taylor and Reed clash mid-air with Adelaide's own Carmichael and Metcalf. Plus the awesome antics of the smoke-free expression session. All this and more on Adelaide's monumental moto track. Wavell Saturday, Feb 20. Book it fast today for the high-flying Heartland and Supercross Masters.
Buy now on 2 years, interest-free, 1/3 deposit. Conditions apply. 1/3 deposit? Forget it. We can do better at Chandler's. Pay no deposit, no interest, no repayments, not a cent until the year 2000. We can arrange finance over the counter in minutes. Spend just $500 and get everything for your home. Even small items like computer games, videos, CDs, kitchen appliances, hi-fis, TVs and more. On no deposit, no interest, no repayments until the year 2000. It's only at Chandler's and it ends this weekend. Chandler's, we'll look after you.
You'll laugh yourself silly at the hit musical comedy A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. The biggest laugh riot in years. John English and an all-star cast will have the entire family in stitches. Sit back, relax and laugh. You'll love Forum, said the Herald Sun. Zany family fun, said the Australian. It's non-stop laughs. Musical comedy at its most farcical. Don't miss Simon Gallagher's production of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Now playing at Her Majesty's Theatre, but hurry, last week's. Book now at Bass. You'll laugh your togas off.
So it's quarter time here at Subiaco Oval. The Dockers lead it by 5 points. Damien Drum went down to address his charges officially for the first time, and obviously that would be a good feeling for him, I would think, as we take a look at what's transpired so far. 5 points, there's Damien Drum, the margin. His side are up. Damien Drum, no doubt, feeling satisfied as he went down there in more ways than one. From a career point of view, too, finally, he's got to where he was headed. Across the way, well, Ken Judge was quite animated initially as he made his way down to his huddle, but then, gentlemen, that's nothing new.
He's an excitable type, Kenny Judge, and pretty good coach too, so it's a good contest between both Damien Drum and Kenny Judge at this stage.
2-2-1-3. Black and Bandy have got the goals for the Dockers, and Lloyd, the solitary goal kicker for the Hawks. Adrian, what can you tell us?
Dennis, well, you guys pretty well nailed it there. Ken Judge was very animated. It's very early in the season, but he's very animated. Thinks that his boys are just going through the motions at the moment, just having a bit of a picnic, wants them to up the ante and lift their rating. Over at the Dockers, though, as you said, Damien Drum quite happy. As John Worsfold said, that style of play where they bring the ball long into the front of Tony Modra is what he wants more of. Give Modra a chance. I think they really want to see Modra and what he can do for him this year. But I think it'll be nip and tuck, boys, for the rest of the game.
Umpire Gill bounces the ball. Burton, wonderful opening term, knocks it down. Bandy camped over it, couldn't control it. In goes Sinclair. Hassel knocked it away. McCabe goes in after it and ties it up. So what about Burton in the opening term? 10 possessions, bearing in mind their short quarters. A few ruck knocks to boot.
Great effort by Spider, with Salmon just dropping off him a bit to get in the back line.
Lord to Treleaven down towards half forward. Loose ball inside the 50, showing pace is Cox. Harding came to meet him. Dixon crashes the pack, knocked them all over. Harding kept his footing, untidy hand pass. Well, he missed the first bloke, got it to the second. Callahan to O'Reilly, and a good stretch out there by Holland, taking this mark about 65 metres from goal.
Hawks maybe a little bit too conscious of Nick Holland. They just seem to be kicking anywhere just to try and get it to him.
Yeah, similar to Fremantle. He hasn't got a lot of space in front of him. Every mark he's flying for, there is a pack that he's crashing into. It makes it very hard.
Holland, the centering kick, very good too. Lord comes across. It was 2-on-1. Had it hit the deck. Hawthorn was still well placed. And now Aaron Lord, who bid at 31 goals last season, including 2 bags of 6 against St Kilda in round 19 and against these Dockers in round 22. Really hurt them on the last day of the season. And the Hawks were saying goodbye to their champ, Jason Dunstall. There goes Lord. This one just tailing off towards the left. It's a behind. Margin back to 4 points.
Well, they do have goal kickers. I mean, Brad Lloyd's kicked their only goal. Dixon kicked quite a few goals last year for them. And you've already mentioned Lord.
And Daniel Chick, looking for him to find a lot of space in the forward line. And, he's shown that he can kick goals for them.
Carroll kicks across the full back line. It's taken by Gale for Fremantle, but that kick didn't find its target, and it's the Hawks to go back into attack through Nick Holland. Holland is 55 metres from goal. He's going to put it right in the square. Gee, it's got good distance, right on the goal line. A magnificent attempt there by Dixon up over the top, but Callahan has controlled the football and been awarded the mark. Fletcher kicks the ball away towards half-back. Bandy, very skillful. Both these big, tall, slim fellas have got a lot of skill. Daniel Bandy and Burton kicks in the direction there of the centre of the ground, centre wing position. Taken here by Crode for the Hawks, across his left shoulder, back towards half-forward. That was a very courageous effort there by Bandy, and he's taken the mark. Gets the ball away to Wirra. Little left-foot kick by Brad Wirra close to the line. Sinclair may not have touched it. He hasn't. So it is a free kick for Hawthorn out there on centre wing. And it looks like Johnny Hassel, who will kick Hawthorn back into attack. Gets it inside their forward 50. Up goes Burton, couldn't control the football. Away goes Cox, an exciting time for the Hawks. And he may have kicked a goal, I think, has he? No, he's just missed off to the left. So his first score for Hawthorn is a behind. Of course, we've got 6 interchange players. That young fella there was Nathan Thompson, just getting to his feet and look as though he's about to come onto the ground. Number 33 is Barlow, another player that the Hawks are looking for a bit of improvement from across the half-back line, so I believe. O'Reilly and Burton, a bit of a misunderstanding. Fletcher to Callaghan. Callaghan out the back door. Gathered there by McCabe. McCabe kicks Hawthorn back to within scoring distance. The high flyer back there was O'Farrell, and the umpire has called for a ball up.
Interesting, the stats on Burton and Bandy, 10 and 7 respectively, so two big guys posting small man figures at the moment. Jones off the ground though by Cox, who came into the picture hurriedly on the left and gets the goal.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness
At LG, every high-tech appliance we design has one simple purpose: to make your daily life more enjoyable. LG, life's good.
So Cox gets his first goal for the Hawks, and they wrench the lead away from the Dockers. They lead by 3 points, Hawthorn. It's gathered by Sinclair. Sinclair's left foot kick towards half forward. No mark, the ball spills to the front of the pack. Gee, Bond was crunched to the ground. Waterhouse out wide. It's kicked forward now for the Dockers by Clark. But the mark taken back there by the very, very reliable Tony Woods. He's given Hawthorn very good service. It's, I think, his third club. He was at Fitzroy, of course, Collingwood. And now with Hawthorn, Waterhouse. Beaten for it on this occasion. Looks like Hay, is it?
Yep.
Out there at right half back, getting back to kick the ball into the middle of the ground. He may have been a bit fortunate there. It's taken here by Dixon. Dixon for Hawthorn. Now, there's going to be a 50-metre penalty. Obviously, the umpire must have told the player on the mark that he had to come back.
Yeah, Bond was just caught on the side of the mark. You have to be 5 metres away and didn't have time. I don't think he backed away straight away. So he was impeding the Hawthorn player going back to his kick, and the umpire's given him a very heavy penalty of 50 metres well inside the 50-metre line now.
Well, he was never going to score from where he was.
No,
he's got a chance now.
Very good scoring opportunity, and those mistakes are pretty costly.
They can be. The disciplines of the modern-day AFL footballer. Dixon goes back and kicks behind. So that's disappointing, really. A shot like that and missing from that range, pretty well straight in front. A chance gone begging for Hawthorn as Waterhouse takes his place on the bench.
And immediately on the phone, this is Jones in the back pocket. Dixon showing a little rust there with the kick. Very effective last year on the forward line. Jones, high floater. Holland, great pair of hands as always. In mid-season form, goes across the ground, showing great courage. Gale went back, marked in front of the leading chick. Gets the hand pass away to Bond. Bond storming up towards the wing, goes for distance down towards half forward. Awkward half volley taken by Crode. Wrestled to the ground there by Clark. Picked up by Wills, in trouble. Gets the hand pass off. This is Leckers. Hurriedly onto the right foot. Hangs in the air a long time, but still not time enough for Hawthorn to get a man across to contest. Harding's hand pass. This is Prescott from half-back through the centre square. Wrestling Sinclair and Hassel. Almost to Sinclair. Almost to Hassel. Burton got in the road, though. Hard target to miss. Kicks inside the 50. Getting back is McCabe. He's away. McCabe threads the ball towards midfield. Taken by Taylor. Immediately goes Taylor over the top to Hassel, who can run, had to stretch, goes out wide to Barker. Barker going down towards half forward, spears the pass into Chick. There's a whistle. It's going to be a relay free kick. Chick has got the ball about 60 metres from goal. Daniel Chick. Long kick down towards full forward. Holland in best position, decides to try and shepherd it through. Did O'Reilly touch it? No.
What are you doing? On first draw. Well, we won't have to action on the back. Why do you think we hired the leg?
Smartest move we ever made.
Oh, no, it's a drinks break. You better set them up. Yeah, it's about that time. Best end of the day. Great knock, Ledge. It's the west end of the day.
Well, after taking quite a while in the first term to get their first goal, Hawthorn have now kicked 3 and lead by 10 points. The ball there in front of Fletcher did reasonably well, got the ball back, but it's just numbers by Hawthorn. Chick receiving from Leckis, gets it towards Dixon. Now the harassment by the Dockers half-backers, led by Prescott, forced the ball over for a boundary throw-in. Adrian.
Yeah, Robbo, the Hawks are certainly on the rise, and that rookie you spoke about, Nathan Thompson, he's gone to full forward. Gee, he's a good-sized kid too, isn't he? And Brett O'Farrell is off.
Yes, he does look a very likely type. Thompson, wearing number 16, Nathan Thompson for the Hawks. He's about to get a chance here, going for the ball, but it's punched away there by the Dockers defence. And that's Thompson in picture there. Big boy, big strong-looking colt. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for the Hawks. They've kicked 3-6. Dockers have kicked 2-2. Long time between drinks for the Dockers. They kicked goals through Black and Bandy. Bandy was the first goal kicker. Black probably halfway through the first term. So some concerns there for Damien Drum, not getting any score. The Hawks again. Daniel Chick off the ground, smothered. Here goes Cox for his second. Left foot snap by Cox. I'd say that looks pretty good. He may have kicked his second goal.
Yeah, very much an opportunist young player there. He just around the pack, around the play, and it got smothered off Chick's boot, came back straight to him, and he was good enough to take it one grab, throw it onto his boot, knew where the goals were, which is always great to see, and straight through. So he's showing a lot for a young boy in his first run.
Hawthorn 3 goals so far in this term. Fremantle goalless. Hawks by 16 points. Burton at the second attempt. Fletcher, who's been busy, hand passes away. Barker. McCabe going nicely. Kicks this ball very high, but not very far. Burton drops it. Well done by Taylor. Took him front on. Went on to the next man, but not good enough. Bond kicks inside the 50. Reaching over the top down there, Crowd. Salmon deflects it across to Treleaven. Poised by the Hawks at the moment. As I said earlier, finished the season well last year. They've got reason to be optimistic. Prescott to Fletcher, close to the boundary line, pulls it back. Black in front of Obst, couldn't get away. Well done by the youngster. Both of them young, but Obst falling to the ground, did the good work there, and the ball hand passed across the boundary line.
Fremantle not quite getting inside their 50 as quickly as they would like, so I'm sure that's something they'll be looking at working on.
Saw Richard Taylor, 11 possessions so far for the Hawks. A very good game. Burton reaching over the top. McCabe slides in, slaps it out wide. Gale confronted by Obst. Gains about 10 metres with a handball.
That's Dixon, I think, there in the hands of a trainer holding his head. Prescott giving him a bit of a talking to as they run away from the play.
They have been at it before the start. Taylor, with great courage, dives on it. Wills goes in rather recklessly. Taylor's hurt. Should have got a free there. Ball thumped up towards the wing for the Hawks. Unkind bounce for the Dockers. Leckers to Crode. Crode running through midfield. They've got a loose man up ahead. He elects to go long, go down towards full forward. Wrestling, battling. Lord, the half opportunity went between his legs back towards the pocket eventually after it was socked by a Dockers defender. Lord had it, then lost it. Just watch Taylor again. He's down over the ball.
I think you've got to protect the player there, Dennis. He has got his head down. There's only one thing that can happen, that is that he gets a bad knock to the head. So I think the umpires do have to protect them in that situation.
Absolutely, John. Should have been a free. Callahan boots it up towards the wing. The Hawks will pump it back in. Hayter, Crode. Crode takes on the tackler, gets it away to Barker. Brilliant footy by the Hawks. They're playing well now. Barker, long kick. Callahan goes back. Loose ball at the back. Across the line for a force behind.
Great play by Crode there, coming through under pressure, and that's what Fremantle are lacking at the moment. The pace of the football moving into their forward line. Hawthorn are pumping it in there and making the most of the opportunities.
Crode's been impressive.
Taylor okay. Looks as though he's recovered from that knock against Wills. Presently 31 Hawthorn, leading the Dockers 14. The kick in towards the centre-half back position for Fremantle. Just harassing, aren't they, the Hawks, in numbers, getting the ball to Hassel. That came from Lord. A high kick to the goal line. Thompson at the back, couldn't take the mark. In goes Dixon again, tried to get it to Cox, and he did successfully. Cox in underneath there. He's harassed there by Harding, and it's been locked up in the right forward pocket for Hawthorn. Only a matter of about 20 metres from their goal. Not even that. 15 metres from the Hawks' goal. They've kicked 4-7. Dockers 2-2. Goals for Hawthorn. Cox has kicked 2. Chick has kicked 1, and Brad Lloyd has kicked 1. And for Fremantle, Black has kicked 1, and Bandy has kicked 1, and Adrian Barrich on the boundary line. Maybe he's a little bit too involved there, as we saw Chris Bond. This is O'Reilly and Thompson going for the boundary throw-in. Ball spills for Carroll. He can't break away, and the umpire will ball it up.
Adrian?
Dennis, one thing to say in the Dockers' favour, the Hawks have got the benefit of a breeze, and it is strengthening.
See, Robbo, he just answers to a familiar voice. This is Taylor inside the 50. Snaps and narrowly misses. He's playing well, Richard Taylor. I mentioned earlier in the telecast, he's got a very good record against the Dockers. He averaged 20 possessions, or rather 27 possessions a game in their 2 meetings last year. And on that pace tonight in a shorter game, causing them headaches around the pack. Now Bond to bring it in as Barlow comes on. He's had no luck against injury, Chris Barlow. Missed all of last season. Still a rookie, but 25 years of age. As Harding drives it around the outer side, waiting in front of Holland from behind. Kickett thumps it away. Again they work it forward. Trelevin this time, and that's an accurate kick of beauty.
A murder so intriguing, it'll take 2 different shows to solve.
Who's the killer?
Client, Allie.
Ally McBeal, meet The Practice.
Welcome to our unisex bathroom.
The Practice, meet Ally McBeal.
You're all crazy.
One case will bring them together.
I do remember swinging a hatchet.
When America's top 2 shows come together,
You like playing at this level?
anything can happen. Ally McBeal meets The Practice, a special event, Monday on 7.
So the 5th goal for Hawthorn, kicked by Craig Trelevin. Umpires found a free kick from the centre bounce. Barlow gets it back to Trelevin. Trelevin quickly down towards centre half forward. Marking contest, brilliant roving off the pack by Dixon. Just has to cap that off with a magnificent goal by Ben Dixon.
Back in 1950, Frank McNamara created the first ever credit card. Since then, Diners Club has grown to become the world's preferred card for business. In over 175 countries and 130,000 places across Australia, you can use your Diners Club card for purchasing shopping, petrol and taxi trips, or just enjoying a great night out.
So wherever your business takes you, take Diners Club, the blueprint for all other cards.
6-8 to 2-2. Richard Taylor off the ground now after singing his praises. 12 possessions, getting a break, but not before he hand passed to Treleaven, who kicked the goal before last, back in the centre. Bang, Dixon got another one. So Hawthorn looking irresistible. Lekis gets them out of the centre now, kicking down well inside the 50. Carroll knocked it away. Treleaven onto the loose ball, pulls it back. I think he's got another one. How about this for the Hawks?
Hawthorn running all over the top of Fremantle now, Robbo. They're just working the ball out of the centre. Spider Burton not getting near as much of the footy this quarter, so I think Salmon must have been told to tighten up on him and get the boys a chance to move forward, which he's done extremely well. And Treleaven and all the other runners are making the most of it. I'm sure the forwards down there in Hawthorn are enjoying that football coming in so quickly.
Well, Michael has come off the bench and straight into the ruck. So quickly out of a centre bounce situation, the Hawks have kicked their 7th goal. Michael up against Salmon. The ball spills for Hassel. He's a dour goer, Johnny Hassel. Salmon, a high kick out towards half forward. Chick, nearly dispossessed there by Harding. Ball spills out wide. Under a bit of pressure there was Gale. Gathered by Treleaven. Gets the ball to Holland. Holland quickly in towards full forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Comes to the back. Goal kick by Lord.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness.
At LG, every high-tech appliance we design has one simple purpose: to make your daily life more enjoyable. LG, life's good.
So 4 goals in 3 minutes. Brad Wirra has gone back across the line at centre-half back to try and stop this avalanche. Just so his teammates can catch their breath. There's Michael introduced onto the ball. Still over 7 minutes till half-time. Hawthorn playing terrific football now. Over the ball, Callahan. For the first time in the term, they win it forward, but straight to a defender. That's Woods, who boots it back towards half-forward. Cox, could have been held by the arm, but leads back in the race in any case. Clean pick-up, taken front on. Down he went, Callahan got him. Bond comes away, got it from Bandy, kicks it up to Fletcher. Fletcher on the wing now for the Dockers. Ill-directed kick, though. Treleaven getting plenty of the ball. Kicks it back. They catch them on the rebound. Bond did well. Didn't touch McCabe. The ball hit him virtually. Got it across to Callahan. This is Walker. So Walker, the defensive side of centre wing, to Harding. Harding down towards half forward. Clark from behind, trying to reach over the top, but Crode, his master, takes a very good mark. Playing well, this young fella. Very impressive. Short one is on. Hayes away. Wills closing. Faulty bounce. Hay under pressure. To Woods, though, at centre-half back. Probing kick through midfield. In from the side. Bandy missed it. Waiting behind Callahan at close quarters to Wirra. Wirra stumbles. Gets his balance. But a high kick. Chance in from the side for Kickett. Spectacular, but nobody really looked like marking the ball. Kickett taken front on by Treleaven. Ball spills out. Graham tries to get the cross to O'Farrell. He was slung. Going in is Barlow. Down goes a player. I think it was Chick. Eventually it comes out to a Docker and Fletcher, and he finds Modra. Modra over the top, looking for Clark. Well, they've muffed it. Hawthorn will clear. Had their chance. Woods comes away. Well, Modra trying to endear himself to his teammates, and I guess the Docker faithful doing the team thing, but really would have been far better to go back and kick a goal. We've got a throw up at half back for Hawthorn, who lead 56-14 in something of a rout, bearing in mind they trail by 5 points at quarter time. Watch it again.
It just shows the value of good running by the Hawthorn defender. Just got back even though he didn't think he was going to get the ball, but by running down there, managed to stop a certain goal for the Dockers.
Kicking towards half forward for Fremantle. Michael. Now what's happening? The umpire looks as though it's going to have to go back to where the kick came in from in the the first place. And
Blood rule, Colin. Blood rule.
that's exactly what's happening. The umpire now
Check with Scroopy if it's okay.
controlling the football, gives it back. There's Cox coming to the bench for the Hawks. Well, indecision there as to who the kick was to be taken by. And Cox going to the bench, but the kick to be taken at left half forward. No, it wasn't even taken then. Yes, it is. Eventually by Bandy. Bandy in towards half forward, and the mark was taken by Wills. So Wills for Fremantle. Just might get the distance. He's 50 metres out, gets good distance, but it goes across the face of goal. And back there, the Hawks would be quite contented, you would think, in surrendering just to behind from that attacking move by Fremantle. Paul Salmon having a spell on the bench with Jade Rawlins to kick in. And just a little bit, give him a bit of praise, and you can soon put your foot in your mouth. It was Trent Crowe, gathered by Sinclair, and he made no mistake. He's a good finisher. Jess Sinclair kicks the goal.
Needed goal for the Dockers. 8 to 3-3. 3.5 minutes till half-time. Sinclair, who got that last goal, capped down by Michael, and Sinclair boots towards half-forward. Bandy playing there at the moment, gets it across to Walker. Walker surrounded by Hawks. Kept his head, gets it to Bandy. Bandy floats it down towards full forward. Graham did well, knocked it away from Modra. Driving the pack in front of chance for Leckers, couldn't control it. Falling to the ground is Lloyd. Over the ball is Barker. Kickett is in there as well. I think we'll have a toss-up about 25 metres out from the Dockers attacking goal.
That looks better, moving the ball forward into their 50-metre line, the Dockers there, with Sinclair getting it forward and Walker looking very sharp to get it forward.
Adrian Cox waiting to come back on. He's fitted 2 goals. Gale under pressure. Lloyd crashes in. Picked up by Wirra. Claimed by Leckers. Arriving quickly, Michael. Over the ball is Barker. Falls over. Dragged off it. Leckers spotted the boundary line and went directly at it. But that was good enough. Surrounded by teammates and opponents. And it will be thrown in.
8 and 4 for Leckers has been a good contributor. Treleaven 12 and 2.
Richard Taylor waiting to come back on. Possibly their best. Ball falls behind the pack. Close to the boundary line. Leckers couldn't control it. Callahan comes in hard. And it will be thrown in once more. Still a very warm night in Perth. Temperature in the mid to low 20s now. 26 degrees when play started. Earlier today it was 30 degrees. Bandy and O'Farrell. Bandy directs it down. Callahan gets it away towards Walker. Clearing a path is Wills. Well done. Walker's sock is off the ground. Gets the ball inside the 50. Getting back to the race is Hassel. Confronted. Gets the hand pass off though. Probe once more. Playing with great dash. He boots it up towards midfield. Plenty of Dockers. Danilchenko worked out of the contest. Jones took the mark. Gets it across to Prescott. Comes out wide. This is Sinclair.
Sinclair, probably too far out to score. Sweeps around onto his left foot. Kicks the ball now to within scoring range. But a good mark in front of the pack is taken back there by O'Farrell. Insurance policy for Paul Salmon. No. Maybe a free kick picked out of that. And eventually still went to the Hawks, of course. Treleaven is marked. Kickett trying to just drag him to the ground. Gathered there by Lloyd. Got the hand pass back. Well, strong play by Barker. Handball into the middle. Danilchenko from the centre of the ground. Kicks Hawthorn towards half forward. Gathered here by Lord. Looking for the free kick. The ball punched away there by Harding. Was good football by the Dockers defender. Gale. Long hand pass. Looking to the favour there of Prescott. Lloyd again in there for Hawthorn. Danilchenko forcing it forward.
This is Walker. Goes back towards the congestion, and Bond picks it up, gives it to Prescott alongside the centre circle. He unloads. Telling kick well inside the 50. Can the Dockers grab a late goal? Wills out of mid-air. Gets it about 25 metres going back. Graham takes the mark. Minute to go till half-time. Mark Graham, who played his 100th game against the Dockers, round 22 last season, short to Hassel. In a very productive term, this one for the Hawks. Hassel out of defence, wide to Dixon. Dixon, the defensive side of the wing, just holding it up. Comes back towards the middle. Some degree of danger here, but plenty of Hawks. Taylor missed the mark. Lloyd got the crumb. Cox, who's been very lively, kicks inside the 50. Bond to his own advantage. Lord waiting, but holding as well, and he's penalised. Chris Bond on the defensive 50. 8 plays 3-3.
Pretty straightforward push in the back there.
Bond has gone short. This is Wirra. There's the half-time siren. A lot of change came over the game. At quarter time, the Dockers led by 5 points. All that has been turned on its head. 4-4 now at half-time, lead by 35 points. 8-8-56 to 3-3-21. And they dominated the centre square, and really that was the secret of their success, particularly until about the last 3 or 4 minutes of the term. Won everything out of the centre. And that's been a key for both these clubs. When the Dockers got the ball out of the centre, suddenly they were able to get a late goal. Great turn by the Hawks. So the Dockers, a bit of work to do. Just repeating our scoreline at the major break. Game 1 in the Ansett Australia Cup. The Hawks are 8-8. The Dockers are 3-3.
Well, I know when it hits you, you say, oh, yes, you will now. And I want to tell you, it's going to get you. Yes, indeed. You get a feeling down in your soul all the time you sense that total control. No, you say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, indeed.
You'll laugh yourself silly at the hit musical comedy A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. The biggest laugh riot in years. John English and an all-star cast will have the entire family in stitches. Sit back, relax and laugh. You'll love Forum, said the Herald Sun. Zany family fun, said the Australian. It's non-stop laughs, musical comedy at its most farcical. Don't miss Simon Gallagher's production of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. Now playing at Her Majesty's Theatre, but hurry, last week's. Book now at Bass. You'll laugh your togas off.
We asked 10 homing pigeons what they thought of these great home bargains available from Truscott Hi-Fi. This fabulous Fisher & Paykel dishwasher for $898 caused a bit of a stir, as did this Daewoo fridge for just $599. So did the Simpson 7-kilo washer for $798. And so did the Daewoo 1.5 horsepower air conditioner for $695. When we added that Truscott's had Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms, the pigeons all took off. To Truscott's.
The only way to get to Kangaroo Island when you want to take everything for a do-your-own-thing holiday is on Kangaroo Island Sea Link's luxurious new ferry with onboard cafeteria and bar facilities. Call 131301 for ferry and accommodation bookings.
Rather than creating new pastas to hold on to pasta sauce, Raggoletto created a pasta sauce that would hold on to the pasta. Raggoletto Chunky. The trick was to make it thick.
Former South Australian Premier Don Dunstan, the man who altered the face of Australian politics. 7 Nightly News will be at the festival centre to capture the tributes and emotion of the state's farewell to the man who changed our future.
Then on Today Tonight, Adelaide's snoring rip-off.
Bunch of rubbish.
He promised a cure.
The product is a fantastic product.
Took their money.
If he was walking in this door now, I'd choke him.
And married couples paid hundreds for nothing. From 6 o'clock on 7.
So it's half-time here at Subiaco Oval. And Hawthorn, thanks to a very powerful second term, leaded by 35 points. They came storming back after trailing by 5 points at quarter time. So the half-time score is 8-8 to 3-3, and certainly a very interesting situation. I've got to tell you about the Ansett Membership Premiership right now. This is an ideal opportunity to have some fun and, of course, help your club. That's how it stands at the present time. The AFL, in conjunction with Ansett Australia and Channel 7, have created this premiership to support all clubs in 1999. You can see the table. You can see where your club is. That's in regard to membership. What you do if you'd like to improve the situation is phone 1300-367-001 and register as a member of your favourite club. Not only can you help your club, but all AFL members are eligible to win one of 32 Ansett supporter packages. Ansett supporter packages consist of a trip for 2 to the interstate football match of your choice and includes hotel accommodation and 2 reserved seats. Now, the winners are announced in the Advertiser, the Daily Telegraph, the Courier Mail, the Herald Sun. That's all on Thursday. And in WA, it's the Sunday Times. Guess when? Joined now by Michael Brown, the Chief Executive of the Hawks. And Michael, it's going well out there at the present time. Are you happy with your membership? A lot to look forward to, I would think, if you're a Hawks supporter.
Yeah, we believe we finished off the year last year very successfully, and it was very important for us to develop as we head towards the year 2000. We're very pleased to announce an initiative that's the first in the AFL this week, where we're asking all of our members and supporters to roll call and call our club on Melbourne 98162222. And what we're aiming to do is to develop our database and ask all the Hawthorn supporters out there to register. We believe it's another membership initiative that will help take us into the future.
Now, during the week we had the pre-season draft. Was Anthony Rock the man you were after?
Our football department looked at all options in regard to the pre-season draft. I think we're a bit taken aback when a couple of players didn't nominate the figures that were anticipated, which then took us into a situation where we need to consider all our options. We've been very frugal and very professional in the way that we've constructed our player payments over this season.
How far were you prepared to go with Scotty Russell?
We were prepared to look at what we felt was a viable option for him to play football with us. We talked with him, we talked with his management. Our decision was made to look after our own players, to look after the players that we believe have been in our system and in our program. And we're very happy to have Anthony on board. We believe he'll give us some hardness around the ball. He's a 100-game player and a premiership player, so we think he'll offer us something for the future.
And the fitness of Shane Crawford, how that is progressing at the moment?
Shane's been very, very good in the last few weeks. We were very, very disappointed when he fell over. We were concerned that he may well have done significant damage to his knee, but his outstanding level of fitness has allowed him to be very much on target to lead us in our first AFL.
Now, what about a forgotten man, Joel Smith? Certainly not forgotten by you, but a lot of supporters, a very talented youngster coming back off what was a terrible knee injury.
They aligned at something similar to a motor vehicle accident. Joel actually plays his first game on Monday night with us in a reserves game against Carlton at Glenferrie, and we've had to slow his progress down over the last couple of weeks. He's been very enthusiastic about getting back in, and we believe he's on target to play game 1 for Hawthorn.
And the vexing question of a home ground for the Hawks. How's that coming along?
We have worked closely with the AFL to look at our options in regard to where we play football. We are strong believers that Waverley should have stayed and should be very much part of the future of AFL football. The AFL have expressed to us that they're not considering that as an option, so we've been forced to appoint a consultant, advise our members that we're looking at all options in the best interests of Hawthorn. What is significant to us is we've got a 32-year agreement, and we intend to utilise that in the interest of all our supporters for the future.
Good on you, Michael. Thanks for coming up. Let's take a peek down in the Hawthorn rooms now. Apparently Adrian can't get in, but there's an Adrian who's done pretty well, young Cox.
Yeah, young boy from Gippsland who has showed a great amount of pace and has been a real card around the club, and we think he'll make a a real contribution.
And a lot of players should have that haircut in pre-season games. I've got to advocate that. If you've got any pull with that, Michael,
That's
can you
right.
tell them it helps?
It's certainly a great way to attract Brownlow votes in years gone by.
So you've won your last 5 last season. You've got this, a second term like you just played. I mean, people should be ringing that number we were talking about before. Get on board.
We'd be very keen to have everybody on board. Our membership is 13,000 as of today, which is very pleasing. It's 3,000 up on last year, and 20% of those are new members.
And you had a great year last year.
And we had a great year last year. We were the #1 Melbourne club in terms of membership. We believe we've got something to offer the families and the people of Melbourne, and we urge you not just to join as members, but register your name with our roll call, and we'd certainly like to add you to our database and involve you in our club.
Thanks, Michael. Half-time here at Subiaco Oval. The Hawks lead game 1 in the Ansett Australia Cup to the tune of 35 points. We'll be back with more right after this break.
For 8 years, he's made us laugh.
I leave on Saturday.
Now it's time to say goodbye.
Let's just tell him he can't go.
He'd hate us.
He's a teenager. He's supposed to hate us.
Randy says farewell.
And don't forget to write.
A special home improvement. Then at 8,
The patient, my love. The wait is almost over.
their romance has been building, passions intensifying. Then
He appeared out of nowhere.
those 3 magic words.
Let's do it.
Don't miss the kiss. Third Rock after Home Improvement, Sunday on 7.
What a summer sensation! Well, on crisp lettuce leaves, we place fresh South Australian oysters, slices of spring smoked salmon, and Spencer Gulf prawn cutlets. Then comes a selection of marinated mussels, chili calamari rings, and chunks of deep-sea octopus. Delicious! Perfect on a hot summer's day. And even more memorable with our wine of the month, the summer seafood sensation. Just one of the tasty new dishes on offer at Schnitzel's Plus.
Sally played it safe.
I don't want to fall in love, ever.
Jillian played the field. But for 2 sisters with a magical gift,
What would you do? What wouldn't I do for the right guy?
falling in love is the trickiest spell of all.
Is it you? Yeah, it's nice.
Sandra Bullock, Nicole Kidman. Practical magic.
Imagine having all the hold of a hairspray, with flexibility for natural movement. Introducing new Schwarzkopf Extra Care with Elastin, for flexible hold you can barely feel. From Schwarzkopf.
The band that defined heavy metal music is Deep Purple. After 30 years, Deep Purple are back with a vengeance. Don't miss Deep Purple live from Machine Head to their latest release, Abandon. Live and loud for one night only. Tickets on sale from February 8.
This is an ordinary window. This is an ordinary window protected with 3M Scotch Shield safety and security film. You can't see it, but imagine an invisible steel skin bonded to the glass, holding it together. 3M Scotch Shield makes glass stronger and safer to protect your home and family. Call your local 3M Scotch Shield distributor for a quote now. A real pain in the glass for burglars.
Right now at Midas, you can get brake pads or shoes for $65 or a full reline front or rear for $99. So what's stopping you? When it comes to brakes, you might as well have the best.
Lunch, brunch or dinner, your classic timber dining setting is ready for any occasion. And being so versatile, you can dress it to suit your mood.
And our settings are just perfect in large homes or something a little smaller. Then again, Classic Timber's dining range is second to none. Come see for yourself. And don't forget our huge range of accessories for that extra touch. Classic Timber Furniture Company, 19 Anzac Highway, Keswick.
It's game 1 of the Ansett Australia Cup half-time, and Hawthorn, irresistible in the second term, have jumped on top of Fremantle, as you can see, 56-21, and John Worsfold, quite a transformation there.
Yeah, a big quarter, 7-goal quarter in an Ansett Cup game is a big quarter. Hawthorn very happy with that. And just their forwards just came into the game, the guys that they want to see kicking goals, like young Cox.
One of the guys we haven't seen, but he was very impressive, Adrian.
Very
Cox.
impressive, yeah. 2 very good goals. Just an opportunist. Kept himself around the ball, didn't fall over, and balanced enough to get the goal away. So very happy with him. But the other guys, Chick and Dixon, chiming in with goals, which is what Hawthorn have been talking about through the summer, that they want to spread their lot of goals and make the other players lift up.
He kept hustling there, chasing that ball through, as we saw in the congestion. Now, what about, we made the point during the commentary that high tackle on Richard Taylor really had to be rewarded with a free kick. Umpires have got to protect players. We'll watch this one again. Taylor had a wonderful half.
Yeah, he's got no option there to put himself over the footy, so players sliding in front on at them know they're going to take them high, and if the umpire plays a free kick in that situation, straight away the players realise that's the go. Don't run in and hit the player's head high, because it's a big risk, but you've got no choice. You've got to put your head over the footy. You need to be protected.
Okay, Tony Modra has taken a mark. The crowd is willing him to kick the goal. He doesn't. He hand passes over the top. What do you do as a coach? I mean, in some respects, it's noble, but he should have gone back and drilled this one.
Yeah, you wonder, the player must have called for the footy, thinking he'd found some space. Young fella, young Clark, just not really experienced there. Should have been yelling at Modra to go back and take the kick if he thought he was covered there. Modra trying to do the right thing. Would have been his first shot at goal. He would have been looking forward to it. I'm sure the next one he gets, he'll go back.
The centre square has been very important. The Dockers had no success in there earlier, but late in the quarter they did dig it out a couple of times, and Sinclair got a pretty important goal, maybe just keeping them on the cusp of being in it.
Yeah, that's right. Just fumbled the ball there, the Hawthorn player. And good pressure again from the Fremantle boys. This time they had numbers around the footy in the forward line, and Sinclair did very well. Just steadied and kicked the goal, which is what you need him to do.
Still, it's the Hawks by 35 points. Adrian Barrich is down there in the rooms. Adrian, what news?
Well, Dennis, a good feeling in the Dockers room, a sense of determination for this second half. Obviously, very unhappy with that second quarter, Damien Drum. I guess of most concern is the fact that they kicked 7 straight goals. It's very unusual in football to kick 7 straight goals. Generally, if a team gets 2 or 3 goals in a row, it's considered a run-on. The other team tightens up and sort of tries to nullify it. But I tell you what, very, very determined down here. I'd say the Dockers would they'll have a better show of themselves this quarter, I'm sure.
Bit non-committal, Barra. 8-8 to 3-3 at half-time. The Dockers trailing. We'll be back with all of the second half activity right after this break.
Sophie, please, put down the gun.
It's a tragedy no one in the ward could have imagined.
Sophie was in trouble.
And for Terry, it's left a deep scar.
None of this was your fault.
As a young doctor hangs on for life.
Kids have already lost Jen. I don't want to lose you too.
It's his loved ones who will feel the hurt.
What if he doesn't wake up? Mom never did.
An episode that will move you.
I need you, Pete.
And leave you thinking.
I need you.
All Saints, Tuesday on 7.
Whereabouts?
Dr. Hall, please come towards us.
I'll see you tomorrow. There's been a lot of talk about health insurance lately. With the federal government 30% rebate now available, there's never been a better time to join a health fund. But which one? You can choose a health fund for all sorts of reasons. But what's really important, in my opinion, is choosing one that will help you avoid unexpected medical costs. And there is a health fund that does. It's helped thousands of South Australians avoid paying extra. Normally I save lives. Today, I hope I've helped you save some money.
Want to see an amazing discovery? Well, for no deposit and just $122 a week drive away, you'll be in a Land Rover Discovery. But you'll have to be quick, because they're disappearing fast.
That is the sound of genuine plastic. $2. $2. $2 for that one. And look at this, garden boxes. Just $2. $2. $2. $2. These days, you can't get anything for $2.
Well, what about these?
Oh, you can get salad bowls for $2. No. Oh, you can get cake containers for $2. And these big storage containers for $2. And they're just $2. Huge 10-litre storage containers, just $2.99. Keep your greens in here. After all, it is harvest time. $2.99.
Cyclists. Now you see them, now you don't.
Cyclists are often obscured by traffic or roadside objects, making them invisible to motorists. That's why it's important for motorists to be extra watchful. and for cyclists to wear light-coloured clothing and use lights after dark, because the sooner you're seen, the safer you are. So if you ride a bike, make sure you can be seen. And if you drive a car, watch for cyclists.
Now you see them.
Together, let's do the right thing and share the road.
Mannix have the low drivers contour cooler with no seasonal maintenance, or the Cool Breeze ducted system with 5 outlets for only $2,695. With 12 months interest-free terms, they're bouncing out the door. Now's the time to fall in love with a new bedroom, because it's Sweet Love Month for Captain Snooze. You'll love traditional sweets like Abilene with no deposit, no interest for 2 years. You'll fall for the elegance of Provence with no deposit, no interest for 2 years. You'll be love-struck when you see Tudor with no deposit and no interest for 2 years. So shoot straight to Captain Snooze during Sweet Love Month.
Another reason to choose Snooze.
You can choose a health fund for all sorts of reasons, but what's really important in my opinion is choosing one that will help you avoid unexpected medical costs.
John Worsfold, Ian Robertson, Dennis Committee back at Subiaco Oval. Half-time just gone in game 1 of the Ansett Australia Cup, and it's the Dockers trailing by 35 points. Footy is back, of course, and so is the footy record, only now it's the AFL record. The football record is synonymous with Australian football since 1912. Up until 1937, it was known as the Little Blue Book. It became the footy record, and now it's the AFL record. Look out for your copy of the Ansett Australia Cup, the AFL record. So, the feelings were quite good, according to Adrian, down in the Fremantle rooms. I would imagine they were far better, though, across the passage. That was a great second term. John making the point that a 7-goal quarter in the Ansett Cup, when you go over the journey of 17.5 minutes, is probably close to a 10-goal term when you're running hot in the regular season. That pair still at it.
Dennis, we saw in the first quarter Daniel Bandy, John and Burton, who dominated with possessions in the first quarter. Salmon became more accountable, do you think, in that second term where he went into the middle of the ground and had an impact?
Yeah, I think he didn't drop as far into the defence. Stayed a bit closer to Burton because he was getting a lot of the football. But when you look at it, Bandy's had 10 possessions, Burton's had 12. So they've still had a lot of the footy, but certainly nowhere near as much in the second term.
Will the Hawks press on? Start of the second half. Salmon camped underneath it, still manages to get it down into the path of Taylor. Again, they get it out of the centre square. Taylor kicking it down towards the attacking 50. Holland and O'Reilly. O'Reilly content to run it across the line. Boundary throw in. Not a bad crowd tonight either. Perth people hungry for their footy. They got 13,000 along to a twilight scratch match last Friday between the Dockers and the Eagles, that the Eagles won convincingly. Roving the pack is a chance for Dixon. Lines up. Still a little rusty. Carroll gets back and takes the mark.
Good effort there by Trent Carroll to keep his eyes on the footy and mark it right on the goal line. The short kick goes to Gale. Gale decides to kick it long and gets it well outside his defensive 50. The ball bounces at the back of the pack, end on end, away there from Barlow. And over for a boundary throw in right in front of the Town and Country stand here at Subiaco. Some tremendous work's being done here, I believe, at the left-hand end of the ground, and it's going to be the Eagles administration, John, isn't it, with the rooms and gymnasiums and what have you?
Yeah, new change rooms and facilities, administration facilities, which will be, very modern and flash once they're finished, and they'll be in those before the end of this season.
Leckus trying to crash his way through. Woods leaves it for Leckus. Back onto his right. The kick is smothered. Still the Dockers at half-back, under a little bit of pressure. Wills was able to throw it onto his right foot. Kicks it high into the middle of the ground. Contested ball. Salmon does well. Just made it difficult there. Barlow. Then the ball comes away to Crode, who backed himself. He was beaten by numbers. Waterhouse. Treleaven overruns it. Waterhouse still. They look a little bit more possessed, the Dockers, in the early part of this third term. Two of them crash into each other. Modra leads in the race. He gathers right against the boundary line. Good in pass. Back to Black. Waterhouse spills the ball. Out to Black. Black can have a shot for goal. He goes long and comes back with the breeze. Not far enough. And through for a behind to the Fremantle Dockers. That is their first score of the second half.
Just not quite taking the right options for Fremantle at the moment. They're getting a easy football, but then Black handball, put the man under pressure, got it back and could have chipped it over to Callaghan, who was on his own. Elected to have the shot and didn't come up with the best result.
If you're concerned about the numbers on the bench, there are 6 players on the bench for each side in the Ansett Cup. We've got quite a few new little trials being tested here in the Ansett Cup. Waterhouse's kick, smothered, very well smothered there by Jonathan Hay, and forces a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for Fremantle.
Yeah, again, good pressure from Hawthorn, Robert. They're just not letting the Dockers get an easy football where they can look up, spot a player and try and pinpoint him. Hawthorn putting plenty of pressure on making them hurry their positions.
We heard that from Adrian Barrage that maybe the breeze is blowing at the Dockers back in this third term. They really would need a quarter like the one that Hawthorn put in the second term. Hand pass there by Callaghan was good for Sinclair. He centres the ball looking for Michael, but he's out-bustled on this occasion by Barker for the Hawks. John Barker, he's between full-back and centre-half-back. Still in his defensive 50 zone. He gets it outside that area, but puts it on the chest of Kickett. A floating punt kick, not well directed. Neither was that one by Kickett. Taken by Barlow. Gets the hand pass away to McCabe. McCabe into the middle of the ground. Misdirected his kick. Wills under pressure. Tackled. Dispossessed. Ball in the centre of the ground. McCabe tries to get it to Richard Taylor. And chipping in there was Sinclair. Forces a ball up not that far away from the centre circle.
Again, a lot of pressure on. Hawthorn that time not pinpointing the footy, turning it over a couple of times. So both teams a little bit rusty after the half-time break.
Not quite into the pressure of the match in the early part of the third term. Again, the umpire will ball it up right on the sponsor's logo. Ansett Australia Cup 1999 here at Subiaco, the first game for the season. And I'm sure both of these teams would like to win this match. They'd like to keep going in this competition because they know exactly where they're playing. And of course, if you drop out the practice matches, you finish up in Nanagoon, you can finish up in Broome, you can finish up in Cairns.
Careful what you say.
You do cross your fingers and hope, Robbo. No players really enjoy having to go to the small country towns and play, mainly because they're not sure what condition the grounds will be in.
Hawks on top by 34 points. This is Callaghan, who's been busy. Slung. Got it to Kickett. Wasn't paid a mark. Smothered by McCabe. It comes across to Sinclair, who kicks it down towards full forward. Barker got a fist on it. They battle after it. Barlow going nowhere. Comes to Crow. Tries to force it behind. 11, though, going back, has other ideas. Little chip towards half-back. Pitched in short of Taylor. Modra got it. Gave it to Wills. The pressure, as you saw, hand passed at Goldwood. This is Waterhouse. Strong tackle by Taylor. Modra comes out, shins the ball towards the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in.
Again, a lot of possessions in the forward 50 zone for the Dockers there, Dennis, but they're not getting that clean kick away where they can have a shot at goal. So they've got to work on finding that loose man with a quick handball, and he's got to have a quick shot at goal.
So Damien Drum there looking rather agitated at the moment. Drum in danger of being beaten. Bond gets it across towards Kickett. Hurriedly on the boot. And through for a behind.
Very good pressure from Hawthorn again. They're not giving the Dockers that space, which is, you know, what Ken Judge would be looking for. Pressure every possession they get.
Must have felt tired there, Dennis, trying to get a score for a bit of respite. There was a lot of work went into both sides, and only a behind resulting from a Dale Kickett shot at goal. Gee, that looks like Richard Loveridge, but it's not. A Hawthorn player from years gone by. It might have been Thompson. This is Cox. Cox kicks the ball. The football lands at about half forward. It's knocked away from O'Reilly by Nick Holland, and the boundary umpire will throw it in about 65 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. We've just had more effective possession gatherers, the Hawks. Cleaner handling of the football. Cox on this occasion over his left shoulder. O'Reilly got rid of his opponent in Thompson. Coming away with the football out wide was Carroll. Gets it to Wills. Wills through centre half back. Kicks the ball across the ground. It was a good kick, wasn't it? With his non-preferred foot, and he pinpointed Michael. Michael towards half-forward. What a brilliant gather by Crowe. He ducks and weaves. For a big man, he did well. Got it out wide to Taylor. Taylor to half-forward. All over the top was Thompson, crunching his teammate. Getting back now is Dixon. The umpire allowed play to go on. No, he's found a free kick, and it'll go back to Wirra.
Brad Wirra played just the one game for the Dockers back in '95 against the Adelaide Crows. Football Park. After success at the Western Bulldogs, is back home. Bond got it to Sinclair. Sinclair putting it down towards half-forward. Callahan, his hand to it. It's knocked towards the boundary line by Vandenberg, and out it goes.
I think that's where Fremantle got to learn the style of play. Callahan really leading directly into Modra's leading path. Modra coming out pretty quick, and if Callahan wasn't in the way, I think Sinclair would have put a little bit extra on the footy and found Modra.
Salmon and Bandy fell at their feet. Bond did well. Black a chance to kick his second goal. Winds it up and threads it.
Rocky the Cocky.
He's not a very pretty sight.
He's a balding bird who needs special help.
He's a rocky jumper.
And Katrina's ready for a cuddle.
Who could resist a gorgeous face like this?
And all you Harrys practice Sunday. Then, little Aussies say some great things.
Are you rich?
What do you call the leader of the country?
A dentist?
A fun kids eye. You online? You have any pets?
That many dogs.
What do you feed them?
Cat food?
The brand new Kids Feed. Sunday on 7.
Well, when you see someone kick an easy goal like that, it's usually a lot of hard work goes into it, and it might have been Bond that got the ball out to Heath Black. Michael up over the top, got an effective left hand to it, but didn't clear the congested area around the centre circle. There's still a chance. Wirra gets the ball to Harding. O'Reilly further to kick it, looking to give the hand pass off. Then the short kick really was not a percentage play. Wills just tried to toe poke it forward. Bond goes down. A strong clash there, maybe of heads, but Bond recovers quickly, gets to his feet immediately and kicks the Dockers in towards full forward. Modra! That's what they've been looking for. The fans here at Subiaco tonight. Tony Modra has taken a specky.
Sometimes what you need to lift them, but everyone's getting back to Bond in the centre of the ground, because he's the one, the last two passages of play, he set up the goals with just good hard work. He's come out pretty angry at himself. I think he struggled a little bit in the first half, and he wants to show the boys how to do it.
He goes for goal from about 40 metres, hooks the kick, and misses rather drastically in the finish.
But that's what we know that Tony Modra can do. He's looking fit. His legs are feeling good, obviously. He's got up there, and he is a very, very strong mark.
8-8-4-6. Fremantle showing a little more. Graham. Puts well outside the 50. Chuckled mark is taken by Chris Barlow. Barlow from half-back. Up towards the wing, and Barker. He went for mine. Play on's the call. Well played by Barker. Kept his composure. Got around Prescott. Leckis. Dixon working in a confined space. They did brilliantly. Barker, the finish just short of the target. Rawlings, still Rawlings battles after it, tries to ferret it out, diving in there is Cox. It comes to Chick, brilliantly smothered by Harding, not the first time tonight. Great use of the body by Chick, tried to clear a path there, but eventually the Dockers hold sway, and Wirra heads to the boundary line. Half chance for Taylor after the good work by Chick. Both sides doing very well in what was a tight exchange there, and Wirra signaling a draw by just finding the boundary line. 56-30. Thrown in. Michael hooks it down to the back. Kick it. Under pressure. High kick towards the wing. Bandy goes too far from the ball. Could have almost been a free kick to Barker. Treleaven, who was so good in the second term, was slung. Got it across to Lloyd, to Lord. Now a chance for Taylor. Taylor from 75 out. Rawlings off his chest. He was being held in any case. He's going to get a free. Jade Rawlings is only about 35 metres out on a slight angle.
One of those free kicks that the crowd never agree with. Umpire's judgment has to be if the player in front is impeded at all going for the mark. If he is, I think the free kick's there, but very much a judgment call by the umpire, and we have to leave it to them.
Rawlings to steady the Hawks. And he, like Modra, has missed.
Of all the things that have happened in football over the last 20 years, John, still the young fellas miss goals from reasonable distances and not difficult angles.
No, that's right, Robbo. Players go out and they practice their goal kicking, and it's always so much easier at training with no one standing behind the goals. But the pressure, and they lose their cool a bit. But it's crucial to your team that you can kick those easy shots at goals.
Well, the football has been brought in from that behind kick by Jade Rawlings, and it's all the way down to centre wing. The Dockers look just a little bit more determined, as though they've got this mission and they're going to make it theirs. But they've still got a bit of leeway to make up. The Hawks lead 8-9 to 4-6. It's a margin of 27 points in favour of Hawthorn. We've got 8.5 minutes left in the third term, and we do believe that whatever there is of the scoring end, it is with Fremantle in this third term, and the Hawks will come home with that advantage in the last quarter. They were odds against with the football bookmakers, Hawthorn. The favourites coming into this match were the Dockers. So the Hawks, against the odds, are doing it reasonably nicely. Bond, knocked away there by Michael. Spills back towards Obst. Kicked away by Trelevin. Back towards centre wing. It bounces just inside the boundary line. Good contest here between O'Reilly and Nick Holland. That's John Barker in the hands of the trainer, Johnny Kilpatrick, I think there. 57 plays 30. Solid collision there.
Good solid hit. It winded Callahan as well, but Barker looks like he's fine now.
Holland doing the ruck work. Kicked away by... This is Daniel Chick going after the ball now. Lekis gets the hand pass back to Taylor. Taylor's wobbly old punt kick. Very, very well marked at centre-half back by Prescott.
To O'Reilly. O'Reilly running it up towards half-back. Little chip pass out wider. Taken by Jones. Jones can go. Cox is coming to him. Jones off the chest of Clark. Road has been so good and so dashing. Got it across to Cox. Dixon, nicely done. Back to Crow. He kicks inside the 50 now. Holland leaders in the clear to Lekis. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Draws Carroll, pops it over the top. Rawlings turns around and kicks a goal.
So Shane Warne thinks he's going to get 200 grand to quit smoking. Not if this guy can stop him.
An Indian and a briefcase full of cash.
See how far TV's wild boy John Safran will go.
Our own special mechanised cricket seagulls.
It's too good to miss.
Duracell has developed a battery-operated Prime Minister.
Going where no others would dare.
Here to announce my retirement.
The big news and the late report from Tuesday 9:30 on 7.
So back at the centre, Hawthorn kicked their 9th goal, and the lead goes out once again. 33 points in favour of Hawthorn. 63 plays 30. Michael gets a foot to the ball and clears the centre. Kick it. Just running with the football and then able to force it wider still. Bond is well shepherded by Clark, so he's got a chance to have a bit of a look. Kicks the ball in towards the front of the goal. Modra just completely out positioned there by the pressure provided by the Hawks. Kicked away by Lord for the safety of a boundary throw in about 25 metres further away from the Fremantle goal. Coming off the ground, Michael, to be replaced by Brown, as distinct from Michael Brown, who was interviewed by Dennis at half-time, the chief executive of the Hawks. And of course, all the clubs now as keen as mustard to get as much notice made of their problems or their concerns for the season. Rawlings on centre wing for Hawthorn. Coming up towards half-forward, straightens up and then gets good distance with the kick. Towards full forward, good mark. Strong grab by Holland, not paid. Chick takes it from Cox, still held. Wirra out wide. Was that a mark to Holland? Well, that's the question being asked by everyone here and the viewers at home. The kicker towards the middle of the ground. Kicker has the football. Handball over the top. Set up nicely. This is Walker for Fremantle. Kicks towards Modra. Punched away at the fall of the ball. Kicked away by the Hawthorn defence. And fortunately for them, one of their teammates is on the end of it. And it's Trent Crode who's doing a pretty good job at centre half back for Hawthorn.
O'Farrell, it's 11 now. Kicks inside the 50. Check. Right there is Harding. He gets the ball across the boundary line. At least that last sortie forward for the Dockers looked a little better. They went directly to Modra. They need to be predictable, at least most of the time. Hawks bench, some young faces there, enjoying the situation the club finds itself in at the moment. Leckers hacks it out of mid-air. Carroll kicks towards the outer side. Kick it. He has the run of it. Not particularly good shepherd from Wills. Off got past him. Now runs on, applies pressure, but Wills gets the hand pass back from Kickett. Thought about giving it to Walker. Well, shades of the old Dockers there. The hand pass comes back to Kickett. Kickett down towards half forward. Clark diving, surrounded. Back to Walker, who's run on well. Kicks inside the 50. Plenty of Hawthorn jumpers there, though. Chance for them to clear the zone. Over the ball to 11. Socket towards the boundary line by McCrabb, or rather Barlow. Where did that come from?
Austin.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's still getting a go.
Leckers up towards the wing. Holland. Good dive. Nice pass. This is Dixon. Dixon, beautiful kick. Almost down there to Barker, couldn't hang on, deserved better. Carroll shrugs off the tackle to Bandy, and now kick it for the 50-50 ball to be won.
It really is a 50-50 ball because the Hawks look as though they may be the team that come away with the football in the middle of the ground. No, the umpire has decided to ball it up.
A pretty fast passage of play, ball going up to one end and back down pretty quick, but both defences on top at the moment.
Fremantle trying to just knock it forward through the agency of McGovern, who's coming off the bench. The ball back in towards the centre of the ground, and it's kicked forward by the Hawks now by Treleaven, and the mark has been taken down here by O'Farrell. Good effort there, a diving mark, big man, and did well to grab the ball close to the grass. So he'll shoot for goal from about 45 metres directly in front. And this is one of the chances that really should be converted. Player on the mark is about 45 metres out. Stuttering approach and misses off to the right. Two behinds against Brett O'Farrell's name. 64 plays 30. Hawthorn by 34 points. They led by 35 points at half-time after trailing by 5 at quarter-time. Only 2 goals to 1 in the first quarter. Hawks broke the game wide open in the second term, kicking 7-5 to 1-1. And so far in this term, Freo have added a goal, as have the Hawks. Jones runs across the full-back line, kicks it into the opposite pocket. O'Reilly gets his left foot to it. McGovern is on the end of it. Short kick in turn has been taken by Bandy. Bandy kicks it along in towards half forward, but chipping in is Salmon.
Plays on immediately, pulls it back towards the middle. Lloyd to Lord. A little slow to 11, dragged down. It comes back to Lloyd. Got the hand pass away. In fact, it was Barlow who was dragged down. Scramble about 60 metres out from goal. Danilchenko taken to ground. Tackle applied by Bandy. Limp fall from Walker, and the umpire's group will throw it up. I was feeling the pinch a bit now. The tempo certainly has lifted in this term. Bandy knocked it down. Danilchenko a half chance. O'Reilly thumps it across the boundary line. Just under 2.5 minutes to three-quarter time. Margin 34 points. It was 35 at the half after Fremantle led by 5 points at quarter time. 7 goals second term from the Hawks. Holland, who's been very good, hooked it down behind. McGovern follows the ball through. Lord thought about kicking it. Bond fell over the top, trying to spin out of trouble. Doing brilliantly is Taylor. Taylor, high kick inside the 50 and dropping back. The mark is taken there by O'Farrell. Showed a bit of judgment in flight, and in fairness, the kick did favour him. So Brett O'Farrell, acquired from the Sydney Swans, a player of enormous promise, one of the building blocks for the Hawks. Needs to kick truly here. I think he's got it. Their lead is greater than it was at half-time.
What are you doing? On first draw. Well, we won't have to action on that. Why do you think we hired the ledge? Smartest move we ever made.
Oh, no, it's a drinks break. You better set them up.
Yeah, it's about that time. Great knock, ledge.
So the umpire to restart play after that O'Farrell goal for Hawthorn. 10-10 plays 4-6. Terrific leap there by O'Farrell, but the Dockers come away with the ball. Kick the ball towards centre-half forward. Hawthorn with 3 against 2. They'll come away. Receiving the hand pass is Lord. It was a good one. May have come from Barlow. The kick towards full forward. Gathered here by Jones. He's under a bit of pressure, though. Handball to Wirra wasn't good. Wirra was able to gather and then kick it very wide. Still, the Dockers trying to clear their full-back and half-back area. They get it down towards the wing now. Not able to control the football was Clark, and it spills for a throw-in. Adrian Barrett has got a boundary line report.
Yes, Robbo, big move by Damien Drum. Stephen O'Reilly is off with a tight hammy. Matthew Spider-Burton back into the ruck. Bandy to centre-half forward. And now Anthony Jones will take on Nick Holland, who's playing very well.
Yeah, big job for Jones, because he'd be giving away a few centimetres to Nick Holland, I would think.
Here's Taylor with Dash. Feeds it wide. Barlow down towards half forward. From behind, Danilchenko couldn't hang on. Storming away from goal, a chance for the Hawks. Lekas dragged down. This is Cox. In fact, it was Dixon who was playing the ball in front of him. Now Cox across the body. Salmon will be penalised. Carroll will get the free. Another crowd 150. With some justification, I guess.
I think Salmon had heard that whistle go definitely, Dennis, and threw it on his boot. So probably lucky not to give away the 50. And I think the little push was there. It's again, it's a tough call, but the umpire saw it that way. And Salmon probably just lucky now that he's not standing down at centre-half back.
Almost three-quarter time. Hawthorn leading by 40 points. Harding comes away, kicks it up towards the wing. Bond at full stretch. Wants a free kick for a push in the back. Nothing doing. Off his fingertips across the line. So certainly a reality check for the Dockers tonight, as if last Friday wasn't enough for them. A lot of positives coming out of Fremantle, but Hawthorn proving tonight another side to be trifled with. Their finish last year was no flash in the pan. Bond, that was interesting. May have been across the line.
Didn't quite get the angle on it that he was looking for, I don't think.
Damien Drum coming down to the boundary. Dying seconds of the third term. Burton, who started so well, dragged off it by O'Farrell. Taken by Lord, plenty of company. Down he goes. Taylor dives in there with McGovern. And we'll wait for the siren. It's three-quarter time at Subiaco Oval. And Fremantle came out, as Adrian Barrett suggested they might, full of fire, but for all of that, Ken Judge would be delighted with the way his side weathered the storm. In fact, as I said, when they kicked their 10th goal, increased their lead to what it was at half-time. They're up by 40 points now. Aaron Lord got busy in that quarter. He's had plenty of possessions. And generally, it's been very impressive, this work out by the Hawks. And there's one man in defence who's been a dasher, and that's Trent Crowe. Saw a lot of him on the forward line last year, but across half back tonight, he's been quite outstanding. 10-10, 4-6, Hawthorn lead.
This 7 News Update brought to you by Colonial, giving you fresh insurance, investment and banking solutions.
Good evening. As floods peak at Maryborough in southeast Queensland tonight, Cairns is bracing for Cyclone Rona. Rona is expected to hit the coast between Cairns and Innisfail before midnight with destructive winds of 180 kilometres an hour. Australian IOC delegate Phil Coles has hit back at claims he accepted airfares and holidays in Salt Lake City's bribes for votes scandal. Mr Coles says he can disprove all the allegations. Victorian young gun Craig Spence has fired a course record 9 under 64 to blitz the field on the first day of the Masters in Melbourne. 6-times champion Greg Norman is languishing 10 strokes behind. And TV's Teletubbies secret is out. An American evangelist says Tinky Winky is gay, apparently because his antenna looks like the gay pride symbol and he carries a handbag.
Unfortunately, the P in super leaches away from plant roots. Vertico-reactive phosphate rock persists. It continues supplying P to plants in an environmentally friendly and cost-effective way. Vertico gets results.
With your normal home loan, you could pay off your home in around 25 years. But with Money for Life from Bank SA, you could pay off your home in around 7 years. And that leaves plenty of time and money to have a family, buy a new car, extend the house, spend on the kids, maybe even see the world. Money for Life.
The Bank of South Australia. Do you see what I feel?
Introducing OPSM Summer Package Deals.
Do you see what I feel?
You'll find glasses to suit you at a price to suit you in an OPSM Summer Package Deal. But be quick, offer ends March 14th. Package deals at OPSM. Things never looked so good.
The only way to get to Kangaroo Island when you want to take everything for a do-your-own-thing holiday is on Kangaroo Island Sea Link's luxurious new ferry with onboard cafeteria and bar facilities. Call 131301 for ferry and accommodation bookings.
Hair machine. Hair machine. Hair machine. Salon of the year.
Tonight's winner will meet the winner of tomorrow's match between Brisbane and Carlton. They'll play that game on February 22nd. At the moment, it's looking very much like Hawthorn. They're up by 40 points. It's 10-10 to 4-6. Quarter by quarters, Fremantle a solid start, but since quarter time, all the Hawks. Levin's booted a couple of goals, so has Cox. The major goal scorers for Hawthorn, Pete Black has a couple for the Dockers, but it's a good spread of goal kickers. The absence of Jason Dunstall not felt so much tonight, but of course hard to replace a champ. Adrian Barrage.
Yes, Dan, as you said, the Dockers are really up against it this quarter because the scoring end is definitely, or obviously, to the left of screen. I think 10 or 11 goals have been scored at that end. The breeze probably strong and gusty, probably worth 2, maybe 3 goals, blowing to that open end now and just blowing straight through the middle of the big stick. So the Dockers right up against it. Drum said, listen, we scored 2 goals each that quarter. Our skill level was diabolical. That's what really hurt us. Our intensity was good, but our skill level was just diabolical. That's what really hurt us. Judgy, on the other hand, pretty happy, not even animated, not aggressive or anything, just very, very happy with the way his boys are going. And you've got to say, the Hawks, in early season form, look very, very good then.
Good on you, Adrian. I mentioned the goal kickers for the Hawks. Well, they've had 8 goal scorers tonight. I'm sure Ken Judge would be delighted with that.
Yeah, we mentioned it before, Dennis, that that's certainly what Hawthorn are looking for. They'd be very happy to find a player that can stand up at full forward and kick 3, 4, 5 goals regularly for them. But otherwise, they're going to rely on the guys around Holland especially, and whoever sits at full forward for them to crumb and be opportunistic and kick the goals that they're going to need.
Just a glorious night here in Perth. Temperature about 20 degrees now. Very still. Despite the scoreboard, the crowd have enjoyed tonight's footy simply because it is footy. Footy is back. So much to look forward to in the upcoming season. So we start the final term. Burton stood his ground and knocked it down. Should be a free kick in there to the Dockers. Fletcher held without it. Spent a lot of time on the bench in the third quarter. 12 possessions. Was busy early, Adrian Fletcher. Averaged 22 possessions a game for the Dockers last season. Of course, badly injured his shoulder. Only played 16 games. Burton, who started so well, 12 possessions to three-quarter time, but bear in mind, had 10 in the opening term. Burton down towards half forward. Big leap from Bandy. Waiting down in front. Fletcher again. He knows where to go to get a kick or a hand pass. Sinclair hoisted high. It's gone about 25 metres, and that's a very good mark by Crode. Coming up to his 14th possession. It's the way he's done it. Across to Rawlings, up towards the wing. Holland always supplying a target. Takes it across the boundary line, very aware of where he was, and then made the effort to hand pass over his head.
Just the sort of kick a key forward loves to see come in. A dirty old Wanganui punt.
Yeah, they're never that appreciative of those sort of kicks coming in, Robbo. They'll let you know too. Don't worry about that.
Well, he's a great player, Nick Holland, and if he can get some opportunities, I'm sure he's going to have a good season for the Hawks in 1999. That kick forward there by Richard Taylor was his 20th possession. He gathered about 35 metres for his side. Ball being thrown in about 80 metres around from the Hawthorn goal. Lloyd and Dixon, and it might be young Thompson there as well, warming the bench presently for Hawthorn as their teammates strive to clear some congestion at left half forward. The umpire will ball it up. Fletcher for Fremantle has been a good servant of AFL football, Adrian Fletcher. What Geelong, St Kilda, Brisbane and Fremantle, and with all of those clubs did pretty well. Umpire again will be forced to ball it up. Ashley Prescott, ex-Tiger of course. Much publicity about his move across. McKay kicks it forward for the Hawks. In towards full forward. And a mark has been taken down here by O'Farrell. So the Hawks will go further ahead. Just a matter here of the accuracy for Brett O'Farrell. He kicked a behind and a goal in the third quarter. A chance to become the third Hawk to kick 2 goals in this match. Kicking from only about 20 metres, slight angle, disappointing result. 1 goal, 3 against his name.
Didn't look that confident walking in to have that shot. So again, they're the ones that really hurt the opposition. That just about snuffs out any sort of challenge they can make.
10-11 to 4-6. Jones, the mark close to the boundary line. The man dogged by injury. Up towards Fletcher. Closing him down and thumping the ball across the boundary line. McCabe. And it will be tossed in. About 70 metres out from the Hawks attacking goal. Holland, who fulfills so many roles for them, rucking that time, but kick it eventually. Got it across to support, and they run it out. Bond's kick towards half forward. Bond 17 possessions, but his 17th fell in the hands of Obbs, who boots it back towards the outer side wing. Donaldchenko a half chance. It comes back to him. Dragged down. Salmon goes after it. Down goes Black. Tackle from behind by Obbs. They're pushing the back, says the umpire. Advantage is paid. Wills runs away. Kicks well inside the 50. Modra couldn't hang on. Packs it out of midair. And don't tell me. Marvellous goal. Marvellous goal.
In 1950, Frank McNamara changed history with a dramatic new way to pay bills. A world first, he named his creation Diners Club. Today, his original vision is changing the way the world does business. The Diners Club business card system saves your company vital time and money with a reporting system that tracks expenses each month. First, a and still the most efficient card for managing expenses. Diners Club, the blueprint for all other cards.
I don't think Tony Modra would be too worried about how he did it, because it's a goal against his name and a terrific performance there to score the Dockers' 5th goal. Now, the umpires found a free kick. It looks as though it's Fletcher, the recipient, goes short, finds Bond. Bond has got Sinclair out wide, goes in that direction. He takes the mark. He can give the hand pass on to Prescott, but he decides to sweep onto his left and kick the ball to within scoring distance for the Dockers. No mark taken. The ball spills out towards half-back. Leading there is Gale. Close on his hammer is Leckis. Taken to the ground, kick it. Leckis and McGovern taken over by Angelo Leckis, and it will be thrown in just outside the forward 54 of Fremantle. You can see there the time remaining. Hawthorn lead comfortably. They're 35 points to the advantage. 71 plays 36. Crowd again, just throwing his right foot at it. Nearly the mark taken by Sinclair. It looks as though it may have been paid. Jess Sinclair with the football. The left foot kick in towards full forward. Chipping in. He's obsed, and he marks soundly across the half-back line. Kicks it out wide. The mark is taken down here in front of us by McCabe. Rather sloppy, fairly arrogant hand pass in the finish by McCabe. And it's going to break down. Well done by Jones. Gets away. Kicks it in towards full forward. Getting back to help out the defenders is Salmon. He's dispossessed. It's still there for the Dockers. Black trying to make the ball his. Good play by Danilchenko. Forces it clear and eventually kicked away by Rawlings for the safety of a boundary throw-in.
Pretty fierce tackling in there. The boys going hard at it. Let's have a look at this one. Danilchenko, pretty solid boy, and a real good bump there. Bandy certainly felt it.
Did well, Daniel Bandy, in the finish, just to hang on to the Hawthorn player. This is Hassel running away from half-back. Johnny Hassel straightens up, kicks towards half-forward, gathered there by Holland. Good gather by Nick Holland, and he kicks it forward.
Inside the 50. Chance for the Hawks. Went begging. Chick came on the lead initially. Now he butters up for the ball on the ground. McCabe did nicely. Just chipped it out wide. Hassel, who's run a long way, about 70 metres from goal now, goes down towards the pocket. Missed by Lord. Sliding in there is Wills. And Wills able to force it across the line. 71 to 36. 12 and a half minutes remaining in the game. Boundary throw in about 40 metres out from the Hawks attacking goal. Farrell. Missed by Taylor. Emerging with it, Fletcher. Fletcher comes across the ground. An element of danger, but it could pay off for them. Jones now onto the loose ball. Handles it well. Into the path of Sinclair. Needs it to sit. Generally it does on the second bounce. It did that time. Sinclair, probing kick inside the 50. Modra will get a free kick.
I think definitely a free kick there. Modra got in front, held his position, and was getting mauled from behind. So probably a free kick, but just good movement of the footy by Fremantle down the ground. And Modra, for the first time, really has had a fully open forward 50 line to lead into. And all Sinclair had to do was put the ball up in front of him, and he's done well to stay in front and get the kick.
He's had one set shot at goal tonight, missed by quite a margin. His goal, as we saw moments ago, from a rather unorthodox effort. Modra kicks and kicks cruelly.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness
At LG, every high-tech appliance we design has one simple purpose: to make your daily life more enjoyable. LG, life's good.
So second goal to Tony Modra. Certain amount of luck involved in his first goal, but that was a good kick for his second. Salmon kicks the Hawks out of the centre bounce. O'Reilly back onto the ground. Prescott under pressure, applied by Cox. In goes Harding, then O'Reilly. Good kick by that player. finds Burton. They're a chance once again. They've got to play a loose in support. That's Dale Kickett. Right, and the marker is taken by McGovern in front of Krogh. So a bit of liveliness appearing in the Dockers playmaking at the moment. This is Fletcher in the middle of the ground, goes with the left foot, kicks it for Modra. Up high, couldn't take the mark. Daniel Bandy skips around, kicks with the left. No one home for Fremantle. Paul Salmon back there on his own is marked on the goal line. Kicks it out wide. Bit of a risk here. Bond and Richard Taylor. Prepared to concede a behind.
Salmon working very hard to get back right deep in the Hawthorn defence, and he's mopping up a fair bit of footy, but also blocking a lot of Modra's leads. So I think the Dockers should look a little bit more. Burton was on his own going forward that time. If they had a look wider, could have used him, and then that would have opened up the forward line for him.
There's Graham kicking off straight up the middle. In from the side, McCabe, he's been so good. Chips it through midfield, low down for Holland. The players are getting tired now, so expect the unexpected. O'Reilly does brilliantly into the path of McGovern. Hassel arrived quickly. Fletcher's got the run of it, tries to take on a couple, kept his arms free, got it to McGovern. McGovern kicks inside the 50. Well, it bounced off Salmon at the back of the pack. He tries to pick it up. He's legged in there by Callaghan. Against the flow is Taylor. Spills wide to Lloyd. Couldn't control it. In goes Wills. Wide at the pack. Rawlings tries to knock it back in. Getting it down there now is Barlow. He was dragged down as well. It's tough in the clinches. Comes to Bond. Bond from 48 metres. Modra surrounded. He's the focal point. Dockers off the ground. Tony Modra. He's got his third.
For Valentine's Day, Seven presents a movie to awaken the romantic in us all.
Why didn't we do this before?
Out of passion for their work
Giving you a shot as a reporter.
came a passion for each other.
You look so good.
And the only thing that could divide them
I'm not part of the team.
was the thick sense.
Well, a bit of physical strength too, wasn't there, shown by Modra?
Did extremely well in that contest. Just brought the ball to ground, knew where it was, and just a sensational finish for him.
Well, a chance again to break clear from the centre. Burton tries to get the hand pass away. Opportunity for Wills, gets the handball back. Harding gets it out wide to Fletcher. Fletcher, the playmaker, he's had a few very important possessions in the last 5 or 6 minutes. He gets this ball to Gale. Gale towards full forward, and not long enough there for Bandy. And chipping in his Krogh, and that was a promising lead-up for the Dockers. Threatening, but breaking down across half forward. Goes short. And he's given it up. Well, Black will nearly kick a goal here, surely. We believe maybe going into a slight breeze, but he fancies his chances, Heath Black, going for his third goal. It'll make the situation very interesting. Right now, it's a 22-point advantage for Hawthorn. Heath Black attempting to bring it back to 16. Gets onto it. Gets good distance. Right on the line. It has been tough. Oh, the goal umpire under a bit of pressure back there. But he was pretty definite. And he's awarded a behind.
21 points the difference. Now I think we've got a blood rule at the other end of the ground. Prescott coming off. Adrian?
Yes, Dan, as you said, a blood rule. Left arm, just a bit of a scratch, just patching that up. And the young Walker has gone on to fill in for Prescott. He should be back on shortly.
And while Black was taking that kick, Craig Treleaven came back onto the ground, so obviously Ken Jark's a little worried. Treleaven, 18 possessions, has been a terrific player for them tonight. And they're key in their second term when they've hit 7 goals. Here's Leckis, who's worked hard for 4 quarters, but only as far as Fletcher. You can see the mistakes we were talking about. Across the ground to kick it. The mind is there, but the body sometimes doesn't respond. Kick it inside the 50. Back goes Modra. He'll run onto the loose ball. Deep in the pocket. Under pressure. Well played by Graham.
Fletcher's had 8 possessions. He had 6 and 6 at 3/4 time. He's now got 12 and 8.
Adrian?
Stephen O'Reilly's been removed from the ground, precautionary. He's got 2 giant ice packs on both legs, hamstring and calf problems, but not too dramatic.
Boundary throw in. Salmon gets his left hand to it. Only as far there as kick it. Could have nearly been awarded a free kick. Dale kick it. 50 metres from the Dockers' goal. It'll be a ball up.
Thanks.
21 points the margin in favour of the Hawks.
I had that many players, but I couldn't tell. Yep. Tail kick it, still burrowing in and trying to create things for his teammates.
Knocked away by Bandy into the path of Walker. Not quite the pace to get clear. Callahan's left foot kick. Slews off the side of his boot. Superior pace shown there by Graham. Gets the ball back into the middle of the ground, but only as far there as McGovern. And the tackle a little high. The ball spills out wide. A chance now for the Dockers to go forward once again, but the umpire is going to bring the ball all the way back to where the free kick will be paid to Trelevin, who only just a few seconds ago came back onto the ground, as mentioned by Dennis. Out wide. Rawlings. He can go straight down the ground, and he does just that. Gets good distance with the kick. In towards half forward. Holland couldn't take the mark. Fletcher again. Dispossessed by Cox. Taylor swoops on it. Kicks it forward. O'Farrell tackled there by Harding. The ball spills clear for Lord. Lord's little kick goes through for a miraculous goal.
Very important goal, that one. So Hawthorn back out by 27 points now. Just over 7 minutes remaining. Salmon knocks it down. Wills trying to crash his way through. Salmon falls on top of the ball, enough to deflate it. Only his knees in there. I think that's maybe Fletcher, maybe Gale. Fletcher. Trelevin looking on initially. Now in the action. As the kick, meantime, goes down towards half forward from Dixon. Coming through is Cox. Cox to his own advantage. Runs to the 50. Sharp angle. This could bounce through. Hawthorn have got all the answers. Cox is good at 3.
Back in 1950, Frank McNamara created the first ever credit card. Since then, Diners Club has grown to become the world's preferred card for business. In over 175 countries and 130,000 places across Australia, you can use your Diners Club card for purchasing shopping, petrol, and taxi trips. Or just enjoying a great night out. So wherever your business takes you, take Diners Club. The blueprint for all other cards.
Well, it really was the play of a man that you would have thought has played 40, 50, 60 games, but just a rookie, Adrian Cox. He's kicked 3 goals, and he's done pretty well for the Hawks first up. Harding and Brown back there for the Dockers. Ball comes to O'Farrell. Gets it forward for Lord. Right in front of the Hawks' goal. Cox going for his 4th. Still they work hard. Holland kept it alive for Trelevin, was it? Trelevin might have kicked his 3rd.
Heaven, I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly sleep, and I seem to find the happiness.
At LG, every high-tech appliance we design has one simple purpose: to make your daily life more enjoyable. LG, life's good.
Hand pass coming out from Nick Holland to set it up for Craig Trelevin, and a very, very serviceable game by the midfielder. He's kicked 3 goals, he's had 22 possessions, and now Hawthorn with a 39-point advantage. We've got just under 6 minutes left in the game. you would have to think that they could win this match now from here. Taylor to kick it forward. Richard Taylor's had something like 24 possessions. He's been a very hard worker in the middle of the ground. Opportunity there for Bandy. Dispossessed. Still in the danger zone. Kicked away there by, might have been Trent Carroll in the finish. And it has gone over for a boundary throw-in. Touched off the boot, maybe. The indication coming from the umpire. Kenny Judge. Still looking for perfection, or as close to it as you can get. Coaches, always a bit hard to satisfy. Wirra kicks with the left foot, a little blindly in the finish. Hawks will gather through Treleaven once again. Kicks in towards half-forward, chipping in and taking a fair mark as Gale for Fremantle across their half-back line.
He's trying hard. Ken Judge, a real feel for this game, though. His kick it coming away up towards the wing in front of McCabe. Knocked away by Fletcher. Loose ball at the back. Hassel at close quarters. Got it to Barlow. Across it comes then to Vandenberg. Vandenberg down towards half forward. Carries Chick, waiting behind his Carroll. Stopped it effectively. Came back to him. When he gave it away, Cox. Carroll butters up again. Nicely done. Blanketed the kick. Wirra gets the hand pass out wide. And the kick out of defence by Brown, intercepted by Hassel. Hassel breaks away, gives it across to Weckers, who lines up from 55. And was that touched on the line? Well, you've got to say the goal umpire was in perfect position, but it was very close. Just talking about Ken Judge, reintroduced some very important people at just the right time. Treleaven and Dixon coming back and immediately having an impact. Good call by the official. Got it right.
And wasn't he in a terrific position? Oh, Brown tackled by Treleaven. Bond gets it away now to Sinclair. His kick towards half forward. The race is on across half back now. Ops gathers pretty well. Gets the hand pass away to Rawlings. Rawlings to Treleaven in short. And the mark is taken here by Johnny Hassel. He's been an honest contributor as well for the Hawks. 7 and 5. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Looking for O'Farrell. Gathered there by Lloyd. It was Chick, actually. And the kick forward, nearly marked by Lord. Going after it now, Taylor. Richard Taylor, tackled by Sinclair, but got his kick away. In towards half forward. Good contest there. Brown, Gale. Now a chance for Leckis. A high kick by Leckis. Probably hasn't gone the required distance. Back goes Gale and punches for the safety of the boundary line away from Dixon, as Cox has a bit of a spell. He looks as though he might have an ankle injury. We'll hear from Adrian Barrage.
Absolutely right, Dr. Robertson. He's rolled his ankle in that last tackle after kicking 3 goals for the club. A bit of a bad end for the rookie, but nothing serious, Robbo.
Harding plays it close to the boundary line. Out she goes. The margin 40 points, and now the umpire has gone across, I think. Is he going to play deliberate?
He did play deliberate, Dennis. Pretty much handball, almost straight across the line. Wasn't under a lot of pressure. I think the umpire expects him to make a little bit more of an effort to go down the line.
This is Dixon. Very sharp angle. Not quite, but in the opposite pocket, Holland takes the mark. He's worked tirelessly tonight. Very honest performer. Perhaps not in the league of the big two when you talk about centre-half forwards in this competition, but not far behind. His work rate is very high. Runs around, hooks it back, and his skills are good too.
Former South Australian Premier Don Dunstan, the man who altered the face of Australian politics. 7 Nightly News will be at the Festival Centre to capture the tributes and emotion of the state's farewell to the man who changed our future.
Then on Today Tonight, Adelaide's snoring rip-off.
Bunch of rubbish.
He promised a cure.
The product is a fantastic product.
Took their money.
If he was walking in this door now, I'd choke him.
And married couples paid hundreds for nothing from 6 o'clock on 7.
If you wanted to be hypercritical, John, would you be disappointed with the way the mark was minded there when Nick got around too easily onto his right foot?
Yeah, definitely, Robbo. You know, the game's pretty much over, not long to go, but you still like players to practice and do the things that they're drilled that you want them to do from the first bounce till the siren goes. So Drummy will be, you know, trying to let them know that regardless of the situation of the game, do the things that we want to see all the time, make it come naturally to you.
Well, the Hawks were under a bit of pressure there, but Rawlings to Treleaven, out wide to Graham, and the Hawks have cleared their full back line. And the mark is taken down close to centre wing by Leckis. He's been a good possession gatherer for Hawthorn in this match. Kicks it towards the centre of the ground. Holland couldn't take the mark. We've got Nick Holland on the ground for the Hawthorn side, and Brodie Holland now on the ground wearing number 17 for the Dockers. Umpire will ball it up close to the centre of the ground. We've got a minute and a half left in the first match of the 1999 Ansett Cup campaign. It looks as though the Dockers will be facing a practice match in just about anywhere across Australia. They play the practice matches after missing out in the first round of the Ansett Cup. And the Hawks, of course, to play the winner of the match tomorrow night between Brisbane and Carlton. Hawthorn get the ball to half forward, and Holland has taken his 9th mark. Nick Holland, Dennis mentioned, a very, very honest toiler across the half forward line all night in this match. Nick Holland goes in short and finds a teammate. It's Dixon, well within scoring distance. Dixon wearing the number 19, made famous by Jason Dunstall. He's kicked 1 goal tonight, going for his 2nd and the Hawks' 15th. It'll be a comprehensive victory for Hawthorn. They trailed by 5 points at quarter time. They kicked 7-5 in the second term to open this game right up. And it's a disappointing result. Dixon missing everything, kicking it out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will be taken for Fremantle in their right back pocket by Jones.
That's the one blemish for Dixon tonight. He hasn't kicked well at goal. Normally a strength with him. 36 goals last season. He got 6 against the Eagles in round 12. The clock is running down. Up there was Thompson, waiting behind Barlow, and passes back towards time. Barlow again throws it on the boot. Gale takes the mark, chips it out wide, but the winner in game 1 is going to be the Hawks. Bandy, the last kick of the game. Down towards Modra, who gave us some excitement early in the quarter. But full credit to Hawthorn. When they were challenged, they got their best people hurriedly onto Subiaco Oval and put this game out of reach for the Dockers. Ken Judge, as I said, good sense of timing, a real feel for the game. For 11, Dixon came back, and that was the end for the Dockers, who until that time were doing very nicely in the centre square. For 11 and Dixon won some balls out of there that really counted. And finally, it's a most convincing victory to the Hawks. That's the first victory in the Ansett Australia Cup to Hawthorn under Ken Judge. They went out in the first round last year to the Bombers. The night Matthew Lloyd booted 10. They were thrashed. Of course, the Dockers went out in the first round too in South Africa against Brisbane. Paul Salmon is down there with Adrian Barrage.
Thanks, Dan. Yes, the acting captain tonight, Paul Salmon. Nice way to start the game, to start the year, Fish.
Yeah, it was. It was a game we obviously both sides wanted to do well in, and certainly we want to try and progress through the Ansett Cup this year, and the guys were pretty intent, and their attitude tonight was pretty good, I thought, overall.
How important is it for the Hawthorn Footy Club to start the year on a good note and do well early?
Obviously very important. Well, we finished on a good note last year. We've got a few new faces out here, and we're just looking to continue the momentum. There's a good vibe around the club, and looking forward to coming back and playing a game in Melbourne next week.
A couple of good young kids too, Cox and Co there.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to find a few every year, and they put their hand up. All the guys have trained really hard over summer, so you know they deserve some early rewards, and we'll put the work in and hope we can get them.
I guess what everyone wants to know is the replacement for the great man, Jason Dunstall. Have you got a likely one?
I don't think you replace great men like that if you're watching, Jace. But certainly got a rotational sort of thing happening, and you know, Brett O'Farrell is another tall target out of the square, and Ben Dixon's trying to live up to carrying the number on his back at the moment. So I just think we're just going to have to spread the load. Good on you, Fish. 1 out of 1 as captain. Keep it going. Yeah, thanks, mate. You can go to bed now, Lee, all right?
Thanks, Adrian. The official attendance tonight, 12,462. There's Tony Modra. As I said, he thrilled them in the opening minutes of the third term after being well held by Mark Graham. A freak goal set him alight out of that left full forward pocket with the outside of the boot. But generally, the night belongs to Hawthorn. They could take a lot from tonight. 12, 7-8. We've got a game tomorrow night, a couple on Saturday, and as we said during the telecast, the winner of this game plays the winner of Brisbane and Carlton. And Hawthorn a lot to like. We talked about their big finish last year, and I suppose they would be very positive. Coming to Perth so early in the season, a chance to bond. It's not a bad thing, I think, coming to Perth at this stage of the season.
Well, I think what Paul Salmon said was interesting. Keep the momentum going, and they look a pretty happy bunch there as they sing their club theme song. Obviously nothing coming through at the moment, but now we've got a Dennis. Good voice.
Bit like Milli Vanilli there, Robbo. They were lip-syncing. We didn't hear a darn thing.
No, but last year, I mean, they were very competitive towards the end of the year, and I guess the confidence of winning a few games early this year, John, is certainly going to give them something to work on over the ensuing weeks.
Oh, it certainly is, Robbo. They did finish the year well last year, and they want to build on that, grow from that, and use that confidence. So having a good practice game win last week against Richmond and tonight against Fremantle do them the world of good. And especially kicking a reasonably good score in an Ansett Cup game. Obviously, the first time officially or really without Jason Dunstall leading them out there. But one thing I did notice, it's very handy to have leaders like Shane Crawford and Nick Holland, but to have someone like Paul Salmon we see there going around talking to the players. I saw him talking to them after half-time, really showing a big leadership role. So having someone like Salmon there to offer that really experienced word of advice to the young players just must mean so much to the Hawthorn Footy Club.
We saw him go to Craig Treleaven there, and obviously Treleaven, a big influence on this game, 26 possessions. In fact, when you look at their midfield runners, Taylor 26, Treleaven 26, both of them spent some time off the ground, and Leckers 21. So I think that really tells the story. Callahan had 22 for his side. Bond spent a lot of time in defence, 21. It was an overworked defence because the ball was down there a lot tonight. But in the midfield, generally Hawthorn dominant, and that was transferred to the scoreboard. So a 46-point win for the Hawks. Let's go down once again to Adrian Barrage.
So we've got, thanks, Dan. We've got the coach of the Hawthorn Footy Club with us, Ken Judge. Judgey, I guess a great way to start the year, as we've spoken about.
Oh, yeah, look, I mean, I'm pleased to win. I mean, it was warmer than we sort of expected today, and, you know, I mean, it's just tough. I mean, you know, coming over here and this time of the year and the conditions a bit warmer and there's 3 hours time difference instead of 2 and all those sort of things, so there's a fair bit of adjustment for us. So I thought we started off a bit sluggish early, but then we sort of got our act together a bit better, so, you know, in the end it was nice to win.
Pretty amazing second quarter. You must have been pretty happy with that. I think 7 straight goals are good signs.
Oh, yeah, look, we moved the ball better. We probably played a bit more efficiently in that quarter. Our first quarter we were a bit indirect and overhandled the ball a bit, and we probably didn't put enough pressure on Fremantle, and I thought that we sort of took some control on the centre square in the second quarter, and our forwards were a bit more productive, and, you know, in the end we sort of get 7 goals, so it was a good return.
Ken, what do you take out of this? It's the 11th of February, and you're in good form, in good touch. You've had a good couple of practice games before this. I guess you've got to set your sights on a good result in the Ansett Cup then.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, we're pleased to win this one. I mean, at least it gets us back in Melbourne, and we have a game in front of our supporters, so, you know, back at Waverley. So, I mean, that's a positive for us. You know, we've got a few players who should be up and ready for that game that didn't play tonight. And, you know, all in all, I mean, I don't know you can take much more other than, you know, we won a game, and, you know, it was tough conditions, so we, you know, I mean, you know, it makes you a bit better, I suppose, builds team spirit and builds the character a bit when you can, you know, come away and do things like that.
You unearth, you seemingly keep unearthing kids. Cox and co today, very good.
Yeah, oh, look, you know, I mean, he's an exciting kid. You know, he's got a long way to go. You know, as you said, it's February yet, and we see some exciting qualities in him, and you know, I just hope he can continue playing that way.
I asked the Fish this as well. Have you got a likely replacement at full forward, or are you still experimenting?
Oh no, well, you know, we sort of rotated blokes through there a bit tonight, so I mean, that's probably the way we'll go at the moment. We don't think we've got a ready-made person to play there, so we'll just you know, try and go that route and see if we can, you know, keep winning scores doing that.
Just something for the Dockers fans. How do you rate the Dockers? Different style of play, I guess.
Oh, yeah, they're probably a bit in transition, I suppose, between coaches. And, I mean, I thought they were right tonight. They were competitive, and, you know, we may be a bit more advanced than they are. And, I mean, I'm sure they'll play good footy this year. And, you know, they impressed me in particular early tonight. And they probably had a few more players that were a little more underdone than we had. So, you know, maybe that sort of took its toll in the end.
Judgy, thanks for talking to us and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adrian. So Ken Judge playing it pretty low-key, but you go out to win. They've done
Do
that
they
in
ever
convincing
smile?
style.
What do you have to do to get a smile out of a coach, Dennis? He's won by 46
Don't
points.
hang on. When they win the
They're
premiership.
a tough lot, aren't they?
When they win the premiership, they smile.
Even this early in the year, it's the Ansett Cup, but they still give nothing away, Robbo. Judge would be pretty happy with that, but he didn't smile and he didn't give much away, but very happy to come out of that game with no serious injuries. Young Cox limped off, looked pretty sore in the ankle, but I think he'll be okay. He looked like as he tried to squeeze a kick out of a pack, he got his foot jammed, so he should be all right. But just going and have a look at the boys stretching. I suppose a changing part of the game. No one's sitting in there having a cigarette these days like years ago, but very, very crucial that after a game, plenty of running, plenty of knocks out there, they stretch down. The boys make sure that they spend a good 10 minutes on their stretching.
Particularly before a long flight too, John. You'd be aware of that.
Well, it's pretty important, yeah. I mean, they say that the most crucial time after a game is stretching up straight away, getting your carbohydrates, as many back into your body as soon as you can. Just increases the rate of recovery so much. With the Ansett Cup, the boys are lucky. They've probably got a 10-day break until they play again. It's a little bit better, but during the season, they get into these routines where they have a really good stretch straight after the game, and they certainly pull up a lot better for it the following morning.
That guy in the foreground played well tonight, young Trent Crode. He's taken on a responsible role at centre-half back, and he did very nicely tonight.
Confidence is a remarkable thing, isn't it?
Certainly, yes,
He
Dennis.
started to get that dash and peel off half-back, and the same applied to Tony Modra. Suddenly, Modra got that goal. He was a different man.
Most definitely. And look, all of these guys, it was mentioned by Ken Judge that they've got to have a little bit of time under Damien Drum, and I noticed Terry Bright doing some work with the Fremantle Dockers, and if they're going to change from one style to another, it's going to take a little while for them to get used to that.
Yeah, that's right. They've had the one scratch match with the Eagles, tonight's Ansett Cup game, so, you know, Damien Drum will be getting a lot out of these games. As much as they're not winning, he's learning a lot about what his players can offer him, where they can play, how he can shuffle them around. So as much as they've lost tonight, they've got plenty of time before the season starts. They'll have quite a few more practice games against other AFL clubs.
One thing we know, though, footy fans aren't known for their patience, are they?
No, everyone loves a winner. It doesn't matter whether you're playing football or cricket or marbles. I mean, we love jumping on the bandwagon of winners.
New coach comes in. Suddenly the fans want miracles. Well, it's not going to happen for the Dockers. The last couple of outings have been a tad disappointing, and tonight they've lost by 46 points to a very well-drilled Hawthorn outfit. Repeating that final scoreline, it was the Hawks 14-12 over the Dockers 7-8.
Rocky the Cocky.
He's not a very pretty sight.
He's a balding bird who needs special help.
So Rocky, jumper.
And Katrina's ready for a cuddle.
Who could resist a gorgeous face like this?
And all new Harry's practice, Sunday. Then, little Aussies say some great things.
Are you rich?
What do you call the leader of the country?
A dentist?
A fun kids are. You online?
Do you have any pets?
That many dogs.
What do you feed them?
Cat food?
The brand new Kids Feed, Sunday on 7.
Even if you have a healthy diet, you lose millions of beneficial bacteria every day. You can help replace them with this one little bottle of Yakult. Have you had yours today?
Another magnet to the showroom, please. Another magnet. Another magnet to the showroom, please. Another magnet. Another magnet to the showroom, please. Another magnet.
So, how's it going? Good. But we've got to get someone faster.
Shervington, you're fired.
The Magna run-out sale is on now, but you'll have to be quick, real quick.
G'day. I thought I'd drop in to tell you about water. Natural spring water. You know, the human body is 70% water, so the quality of water you drink is important, especially where the wife and droplets are concerned. Clean, sparkling South Australian spring water is filtered by nature and bottled under strict quality controls. So why bother with the daily flushing and costly replacement of dirty filters?
For good health and good taste, choose South Australian spring water. It's a good drop.
Lisa and I are very disappointed in you two. You've had a pretty good run over the holidays. And now you're spoiling it for yourselves. Heavens above, you haven't even stocked up on binders yet. Much less consider a new fax machine or a new printer. Get down to Officeworks now and sort yourselves out before it's too late.
Kickstart your new business year at Officeworks. As the common fly moves about from one food source to the other, it eats by regurgitating liquid and dropping it onto food, which is then softened by stamping with its feet. In this way, disease can be quickly spread.
Indeed. That's why we developed Baygon Odorless Fast Knockdown, the first fast knockdown fly spray that's completely odorless from Baygon.
Introducing OPSM Summer Package Deals. You'll find glasses to suit you at a price to suit you in an OPSM Summer Package Deal. But be quick, offer ends March 14th. Package deals at OPSM. Things never looked so good. Even if you have a healthy diet, you lose millions of beneficial bacteria every day. You can't help replace them with this one little bottle of Yakult. Have you had yours today?
Well, the lights may be dimmed at Subiaco Oval after game one in the Ansett Australia Cup, but the Hawks' hopes are high. 14-12 to 7-8. 96-50. So Hawthorn, after trailing by 5 points at quarter time, big winners by 46. Checking their goal scorers, and they, in effect, had 9 of them. We see the 3 principal goal scorers. Treleaven got 3, as did Cox. Lord picked up 2. Holland got 1, O'Farrell 1, Chick 1, Lloyd 1, Dixon 1, Rawlings 1. And for Fremantle, Tony Modra 3, all of them late. Heath Black got 2, Sinclair and Bandy picked up the singles. So Hawthorn moving to round 2. They'll meet the winner of tomorrow's match between Brisbane and Carlton. Nick Holland is down in the rooms now, and with him is Adrian Barrett. So take it away, Adrian.
Thanks, Dennis. Yes, and Dutchie's wide for sound if you want to ask any questions from up there. But Dutchie, I guess you were building up to this game, weren't you? All pre-season's been aimed at winning the first Ansett Cup game.
Yeah, back in November, Judgy came down to the club. The first thing he says was Ansett Cup game in Fremantle. He likes to gear himself up for that, and said that's the one we want to win, and we've done it. So we've achieved our first goal of the year.
Why is it so important to start well for the Hawthorn Footy Club?
I think at this stage we've looked at our draw. We're sort of away from Waverley for a while, so we haven't. Membership's a big thing nowadays, so we want to have a win, build up our membership base early, and hopefully gain confidence also this year. Got a few grapes coming around here, so I better be careful of them.
Your own form, you must be happy with the way you started. You seem to have made centre-half forward your own now.
Yeah, not too bad. This year we're sort of working on having more and more goal scorers. We're not relying on the one person like we've been relying on Jason Dunstall for probably the past 10 years. So you said earlier that we had 9 goal scorers, so that's an encouraging sign, and hopefully we'll keep that week in, week out.
Nick Dennis Committee upstairs, just a question for you. As Ken Judge explained that your role may have changed now that Jason Dunstall is not in the team on a regular basis?
Yeah, what's happened, Peter Germo's come across from North Melbourne, and he's sort of developed our forward structure. He's the forward line coach. Looked a lot at North Melbourne, paid its paddock. We're going to call it Judge's jurisdiction now, I think, so it might be the one to go.
You've become a Kerry clone, have you?
Oh, I don't know about that. I've got a long way to go yet. I'm probably about 1/10 of the players that he is, so maybe a few years, and I'm building towards it.
Now, what about an early season trip to Perth? In some respects, it's probably not a bad thing for the players, do you think, provided you win the game and come away with no injuries?
Yeah, well, we sort of travel quite well. The bonus of it is we've had lots of young players. We've had young Adrian Cox, Brett O'Farrell, Richard Vandenberg come up. They've learnt to travel this year, this game. We'll develop. We've got that sort of hard one out of the way, and now we'll probably be playing in Waverley round 2.
And back to Waverley, looking forward to that?
Yeah, next Monday, I think we've got the game, so it will be a big game. We'll sort of we've got a recovery. We're here for tomorrow, so a bit of R&R. We're going up to Rottnest Island, so it should be a bit of fun.
I'll tell you what, you'll love Rottnest too, and congratulations. You're off to a flyer, and could be good things for the Hawthorn Footy Club this year.
I hope so. Thanks very much.
Good on you, Dutchy. All the best. Dennis, it's back to you from the change rooms.
Holland, 9 marks. He's a terrific player, certainly. As we take a look at some of these highlights from earlier tonight in Game 1 of the Ansett Australia Cup. This is early in the game.
Well, Freo started well.
Yeah.
But they actually kicked their biggest score for a quarter in the last quarter. 2-2 in the first term. They kicked 3-2 coming home. And I guess the thing that they've got to look for
is like David Dench, isn't he? Well, he reminded me of David Dench tonight.
Yeah, but they've got to look forward to getting perhaps a little bit more out of Tony Modra up forward. This was good play by Hawthorn in the finish, just setting it up for Jade Rawlings to get a goal.
Yeah, we see there Hawthorn and Fremantle, they both put a lot of pressure on each other in their clinches, diving in. But Hawthorn more often than not were the ones who ran away with it. Will's coming forward here. And just have a look at Modra, keep his feet here, just gets his right foot to it. And I've been on the end of a few of those from someone like Peter Dacos, Robbo. I've seen him do that a few times.
He was marvel at it, yep. What did you think of Tony Modra in his first hit out of an official game with the Dockers, John?
Well, we've seen the 2 goals he's kicked there just by making a contest of it. So I think that's pretty handy. If you can kick a couple of goals like that each week and then gets pinpointed with some of the passes to him, and he'll start to kick his 3, 4, 5 goals a game. But Fremantle will be looking for him to get used to their style of play, lead into the space, and they've got to hit him.
That's a key, really. They want him firing, because it's not like Adelaide, where there are other players perhaps to carry the load. Modra very much an experienced campaigner in this outfit, and they need him to fire and fire early. You can't wait for him to get that spark of enthusiasm from something that might be out of the box. As we take a look at the match stats.
Yeah, again, Fremantle there have had a fair bit of the football, but just not taking the best option every time. Handballing to guys who are probably in a worse position under a bit of pressure. And this time of year, you're trying to share the footy around, but just struggling to do the best thing with it.
You wonder sometimes how you analyse the side on the right, who had less possessions, and there was nothing really significant about Hawthorn having any more in any of those centre breaks or tackles or marks. They win by 46 points.
Yeah, just less mistakes, Robbo. They took the right option, so they didn't need as much of the footy to work it forward. And found Fremantle had a lot of footy sometimes inside their forward 50, but just couldn't get that kick away for goal. Handballing, just trying to find the loose man, but too often giving it to a bloke who was under pressure.
So Hawthorn win by 46 points, and they move on to round 2 in this competition. As we said, they meet the winner of the match at the Gabba tomorrow, and that's tomorrow night, that is, between Brisbane and Carlton. So taking a look at what it all means as it stretches out before us, the family tree. Hawthorn, the only team through, obviously. These other games to be played. Brisbane Lions against Carlton at the Gabba. That's tomorrow night. On Saturday afternoon, Sydney go against Collingwood in Canberra. Then on Saturday night, it's Essendon against the Western Bulldogs. And that game is in Darwin. And the defending champions, the Kangaroos, step out for the first time in 9 days' time. So at Subiaco Oval, it was Hawthorn home by 46 points. We'll be back with more right after this break.
Former Crows pin-up boy Tony Modra has lost none of his boyish charm since he joined his new club, the Fremantle Dockers. We caught up with him for this exclusive interview.
I might have been pushed to an extent where I didn't think I did have much AFL football left in me from what they were telling me, so I obviously definitely thought the other way, and I had a lot more to offer, so that's why I thought, well, maybe it is time now to change clubs.
Tony Modra's down. Tony Modra is down, Drew. This is a tragedy now for Adelaide.
They treated you pretty special over there, didn't they? They loved you.
I don't know about that. They just love their football, I think.
And Tony Modra.
I don't know about that.
Here they come. Modra getting mobbed.
Trying to get away from it at certain times was a bit frustrating and hard, but I sort of gotten used to that, and coming over here is probably not much different.
Modra from behind. He's got it. Modra
How do you compare it to Adelaide? Is it better, worse?
Probably definitely a better coastline over here. The weather's pretty much similar. People are a lot more outgoing over here. They enjoy their outdoor activities, obviously, but that's expected from what you've got here. It's been great. I think a lot of the Fremantle people are really waiting for that day where Fremantle actually beat West Coast, so hopefully the first game of the season in 1999 will be the day.
Wouldn't that be a great day? Your first game, beat the Eagles.
It'd be fantastic. We're looking forward to playing.